It's Friday! Can we get a... It's hot! Yeah! Hello, everybody! Happy Friday! Well, the camera's a bit high. Happy Friday, everybody! How are we doing? Are you all doing well in the heat? And I apologise in advance for what will be potentially a sweaty stream. Grey Hair, thank you so much for the 51-month sub. And Natman, thank you so much for the 56th month resub as well with Prime. That is incredible. Thank you so much. How are we all doing? I hope we are doing fantastic, even though. Sith getting in the first. How are we, Sitharuni? I hope you're doing good. How are we? How are we? Johan coming on in second. How are we? How are you doing? Verity, I hope you're doing good now that I've stolen the big fan. I hope you're doing alright. Marquise, welcome on in. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Oh yeah, how are we doing? How are we? How are we? Sitha said, no, make the heat go away, please. It is... Did you know what? This is what I've got right now. Hold on. In my shorts. In my short pockets, I have... Ice packs in my fashionable Greg's shorts pockets. That's what I've got right here. It is working very well. It is currently 26 degrees outside and 29 in the stream room. It's slowly coming down. But yes, so it has been the coolest it has been in a little while, which is nice. But we didn't really get, despite the fact there was rain and storms last night for a short period of time, it did not impact the temperature at all. It's been about low 30s most of the day, but it's slowly starting to drop off. But there's no breeze. That's the issue we've got. A bit of breeze and you're fine. It's just still and dry, which in any other country I'd be happy with, but in the UK, it's just different. It's just different. But yes. Heat is reduced here. It's a much more reasonable 22. That's okay then. That's not too bad. Marquise has had the thunderstorm stolen. Oh, see, that's lucky. Yeah, we had the thunder and lightning and rain, but not a lot of rain, to the point where like the ground was like it was not great this morning in terms of like it was slightly damp, but not enough to make a difference, sadly. How is Milkshake handling the heat? He's doing okay. He's basically he's found little cool spots. So we've got like our hallway, for example, has it goes down the middle of our flat, so there's no windows there, so it's nice and cool. So he's just hanging out in there, and then every now and again he really likes it when I've been holding an ice cube in my hand and just fussing him and just rubbing it over. He gets wet, but he's loving it. It's so nice and cold. But he's doing all right. He's drinking plenty of water, which is good. And that's the main thing we're keeping an eye on him for. But he's doing good, which is nice. It's still 34 with me. Again, any other country, that's the desirable temperature I'm aiming for, right? but for some reason, we're just built different here. We're built for heat, to contain heat, not to be comfortable. Johan's doing fabulous. Picked up a kebab and I'm going to watch the new season of Bear. Yes, I saw that dropped. That is on mine and Verity's watch list for the weekend. I love that show. It is fantastic. Other than that, I've been browsing FDM printers half the day. Ooh, I might take on yet another expensive side hobby when this vacation starts. Which ones have you been looking at? I'm curious to know which ones you're at. Good. And if there's any advice I can offer, I'm happy to. If you want me to shut up, also happy to. We had a massive storm for a couple of hours, including marble-sized hail briefly. Blimey, no, we didn't have anything like that, just thunder and lightning. Just popping in to leave a lurk. My flat is 33, so won't be doing anything. Ooh, warm. Well, stay hydrated, please, newbie, and make sure you're nice and cool where possible. Literally, go to B&M or Home Bargains or wherever, pick up a pack of these. I mean, I got these from Sainsbury's. It was £2 for a pack of 2 thin ones. Chuck them in the freezer, put them in your pocket. Honestly, it's great. I gave them to Verity yesterday for when she was streaming in here, and then I've stolen them today because they stay nice and cool. It's like, ooh. It's not like cold, but it cools you, if that makes sense. I've got my front door and back door open to create a wind tunnel. Oh, just like, which our flat would be perfect for if there was wind. It's just not, because we've got windows on this side of the building and that side of the building. So it's like in our living room, it goes all the way through, so it's really nice, but no wind. Snowblinky, welcome on in. How are you doing? I hope you're doing good. Was it the now I want a kebab. We mentioned Nando's earlier, and we were like, now we want Nando's. Now we mentioned kebab, like now I want kebab. Basically, hungry. Which is my other thing I have today. I have a little bowl of snacks, which are salty snacks, because you've got to replace those salts that you're sweating out, right? It's not just about hydration. So I've got like little salty chip sticks, and some crackers. I've got water. I've got coffee. I've got everything to keep us going, which is good. I've got a fan over here. I've got a little aircon unit. Like when I say little, it's about the size of I can show you actually. I've got this little thing blowing on my feet. It lights up. It's just blowing as like a little mist onto my feet, which is quite nice. So yeah, we're doing all right. We're doing okay. The downside is because we have the big studio light up here, the painting light, and this room itself is south-facing, so we get the sun over both of the windows all day. Which is luckily the curtains are pretty decent at being fairly good at keeping the sun out, but it naturally does sit a bit warmer. So it's like, and now I want Nando's. Now I want food, basically. I want tasty food and I don't have to cook. That sounds good. I'm just like, food. I found my phone holder so I can have one of those. My phone holder can have one of those ice packs, so I've had it held up in front of my fan to use as a cool airstream. Yeah, that's always a good way of doing it. We've got one of those. You ever seen the cooling blankets you can get? So it's not like electric or anything. It's just made of a material that whenever you move, it feels like it's cold. So it's very, if you just sit under it, nothing really changes. But as you're moving, it feels like it's cold. And I rolled that up and I shoved it in the freezer. And I took it out and like shook it out in front of the fan, and it just blew a load of cold air. Then I just laid it out on the bed or the sofa just to cool the room down, and it did knock it down a little bit, just not for too long. I was like, yes, contain the heat, just make enough of a difference for it to knock it down a wee bit. Oh. When there is wind, it feels like when you open a fan oven, like. I keep seeing the Instagram reel. I can't remember which creator did it, but it's really funny when they go going outside to Prime in the UK right now, and they're shaking up a can, and they open the door to step outside, and then it's the scene from Terminator 2 where the explosion goes off and Sarah Connor's holding onto the fence, and it just keeps getting me every time I see it. I'm like, this is fantastic. Someone who has been doing some priming. That is what it is. I've been browsing the Bamboo Lab A1 with the AMS light. I know there's controversy with them lately, but as I'm not a creator with any legal licensing to worry about, with open source and sending files through their servers, it seems like the obvious choice for ease of plug and print. To be honest, like the Bamboo, if you just want to plug and print, they are absolutely brilliant for it. If you're looking for something which is where you like the 3D printer itself is an aspect of the hobby that intrigues you, there's like more scope to look at for other brands. But I think if you're looking for best plug and plays, the A1s are fantastic. If you've got a little bit more to spend, I would see if you could pick up still like a P1S, because that's the one that's all enclosed. And I find even with like the AMS, where you can print in multiple colours, probably a bit of a hot take, I don't think I use my AMS at all for printing in multiple colours. And as someone who prints as a business, I print in single colour. And it's purely because the AMS is good in terms of like, it will switch colours, but every time you switch a colour, it massively increases the length of the print time. And as someone who paints most of the stuff they print, the multicolour element just isn't a factor. So it's something I would say probably worth bearing in mind. If there's a combo deal, get the AMS if it's worth it. But if you're not sure, just pick up an A1 and then have a bit of a play with it. But the P1S is what I have, which is the all-enclosed one, because I wanted to be able to just plug, play, and it needed to be enclosed because of Milkshake. I needed to make sure it kind of had no way he could do anything with it. Plus space, because the right, it's probably too much. I'm geeking out a bit because the the A1 is not Core XY. The build plate goes like this, and then the head goes. One goes on the X-axis, one goes on the Y-axis, so it's like this. But you need that room to move the make sure you've got the clearance for the build plate to slide forward and back. Whereas at least with the P1S, it's just a brick and it's a Core XY, so it moves in all the directions needed, which means that I only have to have the footprint of the printer, which is all I really need. If that makes any sense, I threw a lot of information at you. And I would say as well, Elegoo have a couple of plug and play ones now, which are half decent as well. So there's worth checking out brands. Hey Luna, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Before my shift started, I picked up my Black Library version of Kado as a car mini. I'm now starting to think, staring at this thinking, what I'll do with it. You know, I saw your post that you were after one. I've got one in the cupboard. But then I saw that you sourced one. So you sourced one quicker than I could get into my cupboard to message you. I was like, wait, I've got things. So if yours goes horribly wrong and you need another one, let me know. And I'll ping it down. It's the same size as me. What the little aircon unit or the printers? Yeah. Yep, that's what it's like here. It's just it's so hot. Oh my god, it's Ellen Wake! How are we, Saviour? How are you, my friend? I hope you're doing good. How are you coping? If you've been at work today, has it been quite nice working in the freezers in this heat? Hello there, weeaboo. How are we doing, my friend? I hope you are well. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Are we doing a watch-along for the big summer preview? You're darn tootin' we are, because it means I don't have to do much else. We are 100% going to be getting some... going through the big summer preview today. It starts at 7 PM. Unless I've massively got my times wrong. Let me just check quickly. Yep, starts at 7 PM, so I'm very excited to sit and watch through that, which is going to be good. I'm excited to see what they're going to announce. I've not seen any leaks, which is always a massive bonus, which is always good. And yeah, I'm pumped. I'm hyped to see what we're going to see. Has anyone got any hopes that they're thinking we might see? My main gripe is sadly nothing for Middle Earth again. But I'm happy that everything else is getting stuff. So quite literally, all of the other stuff is getting like we're getting Necromunda, we're getting Blood Bowl, we're getting Legions Imperialis. I'm hyped for Legions, and they said we might get a sneaky peek at the first new codex for 11th edition, which I'm assuming is going to be either Orcs or Marines, right? Feels like the logic is going to be one of those. So I'm like, where are we at? I did mean the little unit thing. both is me. The A1 is a combo deal with the AMS. It's not necessarily looking to get up a multiple color print. It's just more because I want to paint my things. It's more of ease of use and continue to print automatically if one spool runs out as the other automatically feed a new spool. That is a good bonus. If I do any multi-filament prints, it'll be for wood PLA. If I find myself printing different materials for a specific print, that's fair. That's a fair one. And the AMS is the AMS is good as the A1 is good because if you're not planning on printing ABS or TPU, you're fine because those are the ones where it goes to a hot temperature and there's fumes where you need to basically have it enclosed. PLA Plus, and PETG. I mean, PLA Plus is basically what I use for everything because it's a good material. If the only downside with PLA Plus I found is if it's not got any sort of like varnish on it, and it's very specific. If it's not got any varnish and it's left in the sun, it's like any other plastic product. It goes slightly brittle. But I must say left in the sun. I mean, I've experimented with this and I've put stuff on the windowsill for about a year. And then it's become brittle, so it's not like it's a short space thing. But just whack. But then I varnished one of them. I just did a bunch of bases. I varnished one of the bases, and it's fine. So it's all good. So I'm like, whoa. And only did I source while the forum owner is happy to exchange my kit bashing services as payment. Ooh, that's really sweet. What are you kit bashing for them? Or are we allowed to know? Or are they holding it in reserve? I wish I was working in the freezers. I've had a super manual day. Sweated absolute buckets. I have to admit, I never thought I'd say this. I miss my office at work because it is a cool 20 degrees with the aircon in there, and I was loving it. I was like, this is nice. And it's one of the whole walls of the building is just glass. So I'm just seeing people walk past in the beautiful sunshine, and I'm like, hey, it's nice and cool. But yes. The, where are we at here? Cries in Middle-earth. I know, it's so bizarre. Like the fact that we haven't had the Rohan stuff yet, or the Hill Tribesmen. Do we know anything? Do we know anyone on the inside who thinks there might be something going on at the moment? Because I have no idea. The big silver lining today is the new Muse album day. And honestly, it's such a scorcher of an album. Muse bringing the heat to an already hot day. How have you and Verity and Milkshake been doing in the heat? We're doing okay. There's very much more of Milkshake has realised our hallway has no windows. So our hallway is the coldest part of the house because there's no sun getting to it, which is brilliant. So basically, Milkshake has kind of realised if he sits about at the end of the hallway or about halfway down the stairs, it is a good 10 degrees cooler. So he's just been hanging out there, coming up, drinking water, eating food, going back. So he's all good. I did have some fun fussing him the other day whilst holding an ice cube. And I thought he was going to freak out, but no, he was loving it. Like, absolutely loving it. I was just, like, fussing him, and he was like, He was, like, loving, like, the ice cube, which was fun. Me and Verity, we're doing okay. Verity struggled, bless her, a bit more than me, purely because she's been working from home, whereas I've been in a lovely air-conditioned office. So, but Verity has made good use of the fan that you provided us with, Weeaboo. You're keeping us all in check. You're keeping looking after us all, you good egg, you. I won sort of leaked by GW in an image this week, so I'm hoping for that and a few other related bits. Ooh, I've not seen any of the leaks. I'm quite glad I've not seen anything, actually. Ooh, intriguing. They have a nautical themed Cities of Sigmar army. They want me to do a priest that's being carried in a palanquin but boat themed. Oh, that sounds great. Ooh, I'm excited to see that. I unfortunately this week had an awful bunch of breakages this week. Thinking of kit bashed stuff. Basically, I don't know what it was, but something really heavy, like a bookend heavy, fell. And rather than land in a big empty space, it managed to find its way through a gap that it was the same size of and smash into the Jalrog, my Necromunda photo frame, and all my new custodies. The bookend itself is damaged beyond repair, and the Jalrog I've managed to repair him. The other stuff is okay, it's just a bit dented. But I was like, no! Because so much stuff, like, it was such a loud thud. I was like, no! But luckily, stuff's okay.
That's rough, buddy.
Yeah, dude, that is rough, buddy. That was exactly it. Thank you, Verity. And luckily, most stuff's okay. Those poor custodies have had so much stuff dropped on them. I don't know what's going on with them. I feel like the rest of my minis have it out for them. They're like, no. No. Let me just update something on here as well. Give me a second. Let's make sure just sorting out my audio. I'm lurking on a few streams. Ah, that's all loud. I'm lurking on a few streams, and I thought if we're going to have to watch a stream, I need to mute all those tabs. But I don't want to mute the streams because I don't count as a viewer. So that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. And then if we're going to get the Warhammer channel up and ready to watch. Yeah, I'll keep an eye on that Warhammer one opening at some point. Yeah, airballs. Oh no, I can hear things. That was a lot of destruction. I didn't realise it was so loud. I'm so sorry that all that came through. I thought I'd managed to mute it all. I have no idea which audio feed that came through. That's very confusing. Oh, hello, Mr. Lord Tender. Yeah, gotta give the attendee the lurk, right? I've got to have multiple years in a row where he's my most watched person because I always lurk on him. But, yeah. How are we all doing, though, folks? Apart from the heat, has anyone managed to get much more of their Armageddon stuff built? Anything else they've been keeping an eye out for? How are we all coping and getting through things? Basically, today, I've not really set up for anything apart from doing this preview. So, thought we'd just sit and chat for the first hour, basically. I was going to do some painting, but I thought by the time I get into the painting, I'm going to have to stop. So I was like, yeah. Oh my blimey. I don't think I've ever had the chocolate inside my Viennese biscuits melt before. Blimey. Pop them over there. We march for McCrag. Mine is all built. I am not doing any hobby in this weather. I have been doing majoritively building and priming. Although we did have a bit of fun with that noosh, this stuff. For Wednesdays. No, last week's stream. Last Sunday stream, which was kind of fun. We had a bit of fun with this, which is basically, it's called I Can't Believe It's Not an Oil Wash. Which was quite, so we mixed this with, the camera's like, hey. We mixed this and we ended up putting it all over one of my Blood Ravens, which, if I switch over to here, I'm going to show you. So basically we managed to put it all over this guy. It came out very thick, and that was my mistake, not the product. But it basically did act exactly like an oil wash. So it can't really knock... It did what it did, I just didn't dilute it enough. Which was fun. And I basically used... where's the paint I used? Where's it gone? It was a brown. It was a brown I used somewhere. I think I would have remembered where I put it. There was a brown paint. I mixed it with there, and it came out kind of all right, I think, to be fair. Versus what it looks like, obviously, without anything on it. So the plan will be basically just to I want to try and do this again on the rest of the stone guard, but painting more of the model first, get more on, and then thin down the noosh a little bit more, which is going to be the plan. But I'm enjoying working on some Blood Ravens at the minute. It's nice and fun to do. They're an army I've wanted to do for a while, so it makes nice and easy sense to do it as a the remaining models of my Leviathan Combat Patrol. And by remaining, I mean all of them for it. Although I can't build one of these guys, annoyingly, because I'm missing a part, which is a shame. So I'm like, aw. But I'm looking forward to doing a bit more on those. Hey, Sanjura, how you doing? It's cooler here, so maybe motivated to get something done. Oh, that is fair. What's it like temperature-wise where you are? Yeah, we are currently at 27. 27 here. So it's gone down a degree since we chatted. I got a Myrmidon painted. Ooh, nice. Super fun to paint, and actually incredibly happy with how my handmade candles have come out. But the mini itself is surprisingly fast to paint, so I'm pacing myself with them. They aren't cheap, and I enjoy my painting time. That's fair. That's fair. Like, you just take it nice and easy, right? I've got the Gladiator built from one of the gaming mags. Could paint or go back to the 40k Marines. Ooh. Is this more for your Crimson Fists? Was it Crimson Fists you were doing? The only hobby thing I've done this week, as it's still too hot in the shed, is bought a different makeup sponges, some normal sponges, and a bottle of noosh. Ooh, nice! I'm excited to see how you get on with it. Yeah, I think for me, I just need to dilute it more. I will say that's my one critique of this product, which is I wish there was a better guide than just mix with any of our Procure colours, apply it all over your models, and wipe away the excess to reveal the paint underneath. Want to see in action? Head here to the Twitch channel. I would have even settled for a QR code to a guide on their YouTube channel. And I'm aware that you can go and search and find the guide, but I kind of wish it was just a little bit more self-explanatory. Because if you'd never done anything with oil washes before, you would have zero idea where to start. So yeah, I just feel like it's it just needs to that would be my only gripe with it so far. But otherwise, I'm incredibly impressed about how it came out. Incredibly impressed. It all came out pretty well. So yeah, but like I say, a very, very, very minor thing. But hey, you got to cater to people who don't know what they're doing, and that's me because I'm an idiot. Yeah, I'm trying to think what else. What else have I been getting up to? Oh, of course, it's for Magic fans. It's the Marvel release day, official Marvel Superheroes release day. So, has anybody opened up any packs if they were partaking? What have you been grabbing? I didn't. It's the one pre-release I haven't gone to this year. So, which is just only because I had some stuff on that weekend, and it's probably the one I wasn't that fussed on. Nothing against Marvel. I'm just sort of there's nothing massively in the set I want to kind of collect. I've picked up a few packs for my pack a day videos, but I've not really done anything else. I've not gone heavy into it like I have done before. Hey Valreth, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. Lovely to see you. Also made up 8 potions, 3 red, 3 blue, and 2 purple, all wax sealed and stamped on top. Ooh, nice! Is that with like the D20 in it, the potion sort of style, or is that for your LARPing? I've opened a few. That's probably all I'll buy. Any good hits? I've opened one today for my pack a day video that I filmed just before we went live. So that'll go out a little bit later. Because I filmed it, but I haven't edited it yet, which is always the way. But yeah. Excuse me. Coughing away. But... Rusty! How are you, my friend? I hope you are doing well. Thank you so much for the 51-month summer, Rooney. Thank you so much. Wow, I'm late. Have a sub as an apology. I was fetching my girl from the garage. Love it. Thank you so much for the sub. I love the way that the Mass Effect alerts, there's only like a 1% chance to get them. It's very low. And they seem to be the ones that always pop up in the minute. It's very funny. Yeah, I opened 5 mythics out of 8 packs. Ooh, that's good. I got a double rare in mine today, but I haven't pulled off. I've only opened 1 pack, so I picked up some jumpstart packs because they look kind of fun, and some. I think it was like 4 jumpstart, 4 play booster, and 1 collector, which I'll open at some point. That's what I picked up for it. Nothing too massively. Squirrel Girl, that feast card, and Sauron, the Pterodactyl Man are my wants from the Marvel set, but they're all mono green. Yeah, the pterodactyl one is really funny because it's everyone's like, oh, you can't put cure cancer on a card. I'm like, that's literally what he does in the comic. It's so funny. For LARP, but I like the idea of the dice. Might need one. The dice one might need to make some of them up. Yeah, it's fun when I've seen the bottles where you put like the D20 in it. Or the whatever it is, and you're like, this is a health potion. So if you drink like a greater health potion while the role playing, and it says heal D20 or D20 plus 5 or something, or D20 plus 3, you just shake it and then turn it upside down, and the dice pops to the top, and it's the number at the top. They're always really fun. They're always tempting me whenever I see them at cons and things. It's Reet Warm here. How are we all doing? We're doing good. Thank you. We're doing good. It is Reet Warm here as well. We are just gearing ourselves up, getting ready for the preview. I'm excited. Again, I've got no idea what we're going to see, except for what have they spoken about. Let's get the article up. But we have not seen any spoilers, as always. No spoiler-runos. But yeah, what have we got here? We've got... Let's bring this up. And so that's what we've got. This is what we are going to see today for the big summer preview. So we have 40k, Age of Sigmar, Horus Heresy, Old World, Kill Team, Necromunda, Blood Bowl, and Legions Imperialis. It's quite a display, really. There's quite a lot to go through. So I'm excited to see what we're going to go through there. And the little hint they did is they said basically we'll catch a glimpse of the first 40k codex of the new edition. So I'm like, ooh. And there's a lot of people who have been very intrigued to to this is a quick turnaround for a preview. They announced it on Monday for today. Normally it's like 10 days notice or something. So there's been a lot of people wondering. Yeah, no Middle Earth. We were chatting about that on Monday, Wednesday stream, Sanjura. Yeah, sadly no Middle Earth, which is a real shame. Maybe there's going to be a big Middle Earth preview. Maybe we're going to get an exclusive Middle Earth preview at some point. That's what we want, right? That's what we're hoping for. We can cope. I'm huffing the copium right now. Maybe. I need Ultron from Jumpstart. The HMV has got Jumpstart. They've got a lot of them as well, and they've got the double packs where you get 2 packs of Jumpstart for like £2 cheaper than buying packs. So you might get lucky if you go from there. Is that the blue? Is it the blue? Or what colour's Ultron? I want to say blue. They said new army. Wait, they said new army. To be fair, I haven't watched the video. Hold on. Should we watch the video? I haven't watched it. I don't know how loud this will come through. Can anyone hear that? Is that coming through okay? Because I can't see where that's being picked up. Nope. Okay, cool. Now that works. If there's no sound, I know what I need to tweak. That's where you guys go back. How about now?
The new edition of Warhammer 40,000 is out. The sun is shining. Time for a well-earned break.
I'm just kind of thinking we've forgotten something.
Nope.
Eddie, what about the releases for all the other games?
Gadzooks, you're right. There's so much cool stuff coming. We forgot to tell anyone about it.
Old World, massive thing, 2 heads.
That new Necromunda box.
Blood Bowl, return of what's his name.
The rest of the models for that Horus Heresy thing.
The new Kill Team set is off the scale.
That amazing new Age of Sigmar army.
Greedy, have you even painted your cog fort yet?
You know me, Adam. I'm always hungry for more.
Sounds like we need another preview then.
Yeah, big preview with loads of game systems.
Should we put some 40k in it?
Yeah, you kind of have to, right? So the new edition's out, but people will want to know about the first codex and all the new terrain that's coming.
Right. Big preview in the summer. What are we going to call it?
I hadn't actually seen the video. That's quite funny. I'm hoping everybody heard that. Okay. It all came through all right. I'm hoping. Yeah, that's quite funny. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to see, we're going to see. The rest of the Horus Heresy, yeah, I think you might be onto something in that, man. The rest of the Horus Heresy, maybe more Mechanicus, maybe Dark Mechanicus. Give me Space Marines and let me die. more. New Age of Sigmar army. That's intriguing. So I'm intrigued by that. New Necromunda box. And very much the thing of the new Kill Team box is off the scale. What's got scales? Scales in 40k. Alpha Legion? Scale plated armor? Or Zotes? Even more Zotes? What's got scales in 40k? Am I missing something really obvious? Can't think of what it would be. Maybe done to reduce the chance of leaks. That's fair. I think that's probably the point. That might be it. Sith, you're funny, Lewis. I mean, I can dream, right? Maybe we'll get an exclusive Middle Earth giant preview. Who knows? Who knows, right? And where are we at? Did they? What have we missed? Someone left someone left an Armageddon box here and took the money. Oh no! Oh no! I mean, you can just return it, right? And get a refund, or have you already opened it and they started building themselves? Is that what's happening? Here, what's going on there? Where are we at here? Definitely ogres. You reckon? I mean, to be fair, they could probably do with an update ogres for AOS. Please be halflings for AOS. Please be halflings for AOS. Please be halflings for AOS. Would they do halflings for AOS? Or would it not? Would halflings not be more old world style? Maybe. Hey, Skull Crusher, how are you doing? I hope you're doing good. Hunger is 5,000,000% ogres. I suppose, yeah, they do have the whole, was it the Iron Belly, whatever they're called? The Gut Busters and things like that. Guesses for Blood Bowl kill team? They said that guy returning. Who would return? Who's returning in kill team? Kill team. Sorry, Blood Bowl, not kill team. I don't know enough about Blood Bowl, I don't think. I don't know. Cetra the Imperishable as a star player for I don't know. I'm not sure who. Where are we at here? The squats. Here, give me squats. Exodites could be kind of fun. There's a lot of people have been thinking we'll get Exodites for it. Yeah, because of the off the scale, they're kind of the riding dinosaurs and things. In kill team though, riding dinosaurs. Not sure. Maybe. I hope the old world is Galruch. I'm not sure what Galruch is. My old world knowledge is very poor. Yeah, world is here now. Let's go. It's here now. Go for it. Just you might as well build it. The Great Moor. Oh, okay, that could be interesting. Is that what? I'm wondering for old world, will we get the other? I know people are probably sick of more Cathay stuff coming out. But yeah, maybe I would like to see some of the cat models, like the tiger models. That would be great. That'd be really cool to see. The tiger models being eventually released that they're putting in Total Warhammer, which would be really fun. And trying to think what else we got. The kill team vehicles, special characters, and commanders. I mean, I don't know if they would put vehicles. Technically vehicles are in kill team, aren't they? Because they've got them in the Nemesis operatives box. So maybe I feel like kill team works though with infantry models. Maybe. Garlic is a two-headed Zechian Chaos Dragon. Oh, that would be cool. And they just say the thing with the two heads. That makes sense. The Great Moor is the ogre god. Oh. Yeah, I know minimal stuff about the ogres. So I'm like, this is all interesting. So I feel I'm going to be like, if the tigers come out, they can just take my money. Yeah, do it. Just take my money, right? That's all we're going to want. No, do it. Ooh. Guys, what if it's Ergim van Horstman? Wait, who's Ergim van Horstman? I don't know who that is. Hot ass, insert colourful language here. I really wish I didn't have to do 11.5 hours in stupid heat, but happy to do my first game of 11th against my partner. Ooh, how's it going? Have you played it? I know you said that the game was happening today. Has it already happened, or did you just chill and play it? Ellie Goulding and Muse is such a collab. Is that on their new album? I'm gonna sneeze. Okay. No, don't worry. That's me. I'm alive! Ergin van Horstman was a character in Warhammer Fantasy Battle. He was a Chaos Warrior sorcerer who was wicked powerful, and he rode a two-headed dragon. Ooh, that could be cool. It'll be a bit later. Oh, what? The game will be later on. Okay, that's nice. That'll be good then. Are you excited? Thank you, Weeaboo. I think I was like, yeah. It's a song called Hush. Ooh. Whenever I think of Hush, I always think of the Dark Knight story, which is really cool, the Hush one. Which I'm always like, ooh. And just have Warhammer gone live yet? Not yet. They won't go live yet. It's still very early. Whoop. That was loud. Warhammer. I enjoyed the comic run of Hush. End quote. I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited to see what I don't know. When they said about terrain, though, that does also intrigue me. Because they said about terrain, will we get more information on the pre-painted terrain? And we already know that it is going to have an unpainted version available because the sprues were at UK Games Expo. So I know that we're going to get them as unpainted, but I'm excited to see if we get any more information on if it is painted or not. So, but yeah, where's my brain? My brain is like brain. But yeah, I'm trying to think. Wow, it's Necromunda, new box of Necromunda. What haven't we had for a while in Necromunda? Wait, is the Necromunda going to be the end of the Arathian succession? Because do we know what happened at the end of that yet? Did Lady Helmwar did she get back control of Necromunda? Did the Imperial Fists step in? Ooh, that could be interesting. And Legions Imperialis. If I could pick wishlist items right now, I'm talking pure wishlist. Legions Imperialis. I would love to see. Where's my brain at? My brain is not braining. Tiny Primarchs or Tiny Custodes. That's what I would like to see. Give me the Talons of the Emperor in tiny form, and then give me Tiny Primarchs, and just give us a tiny Emperor. That'd be really fun, right? That'd be really, really cool. The first Emperor model made would be a tiny Emperor. Unfortunately, you're going to go crump him some beaky gits for the glory of the war. Have fun and take extra care. You too. Make sure you stay hydrated. Thank you so much for popping in, Skullcrusher. I am pumped though. I'm so excited to see. It's nice to have a preview. I'm just like, I'm hyped. I want to see the preview. What are we gonna see? Show me what you got. They'll be live hopefully any minute now, which is gonna be very fun. And I thought it went live then, but I didn't. I accidentally just pressed the wrong button. Yeah. Wee little baby Custodes. Right, it would be so good if they just did tiny little Custodes. It would be fantastic. Like tiny little Custodes, tiny little Sisters of Silence. That'd be really fun. To be fair though, if I could, I'd like them to do Dark Mech. Dark Mechanicum would be really cool. Wait, what about Legions Imperialis Zone Mortalis? It's one model per base. Yeah. So long as Vanguard Vets have more bling in the multi-part kit, I'll be happy. Yeah, because they're still listed on their data sheet. It's just everything's a relic weapon, isn't it? So, it's live. It's crumping time. It's not crumping time. It's live time. Oh, why have there so many adverts? Why are there so many ads? Wait, they just said they were going live and now it's disappeared. Pop up, will you? And... Things I do to watch this without adverts. I'm gonna subscribe just so I can get no ads. As always, let's just close the chat because we don't need that on their screen. Okay. Ba 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 ba. Oh wait, this is going to be quite on this screen. I'm not sure how it's going to turn out on the mobile view. And let's get this started on here. If I unmute site, there you go. There should be some background music playing. Hopefully, it's not going to be too loud. I'm excited. Wait, but I need to make myself small because there's always stuff that gets revealed. I have to make my camera disappear a little bit. I am small. That's There we go. I've made myself small now. I'm just tiny in the corner, like, hi everyone. But except anyone watching my mobile view, they're going to be confused because they're just ignored. Smaller. How's that audio volume, by the way? Is that loud? My predictions are 40k Space Marine Orcs, AOS Ogres, Horus Heresy Mechanicum, Kill Team Exodites, and possibly a Dark Elf themed army for AOS. Okay. The Potion of Speed is an enchanted item in Warhammer the Old World that does what? Plus D3 to the user's move, plus D3 to the user's initiative. Grants always strikes first to the user, or all of the above. I have no idea. I feel like speed adds to the move. Let's go with A. I have no idea how it works. Yeah, I'm excited to see. I'm excited for a prediction. We're going to see. I just don't know what we're going to see. I'm just kind of like hyped. I didn't see what the answer was. Blood Bowl star player Morgan Thorpe's professional debut was for which team? Chaos All-Stars, Reichland Reavers, the Pie Express, the Fire Mountain Gutbusters. Morgan Thorpe was D, right? The Fire Mountain Gutbusters. Is that not Morgan Thorpe? I have no idea. Everyone's going B. B is the Reichland Reavers. It was the Chaos All-Stars! We were all wrong. We were all horribly wrong. Ooh. Which Stormcast Eternals hero led the first foray into the mortal realms of the Age of Sigmar? Oh, it's, what's his name? What's his name got from my head? Vandus Hammerhand. I couldn't remember his name. I remember his model was really cool. I still have his model somewhere, actually. Now I think about it. Daddy. Which honorific is applied to the head of the House of Cawdor? Baron? Baron. No, High Redemptor. I don't know. I'm gonna go B. Ooh, Thane! Weeaboo got it. Weeaboo got that one. No, now I'm just remembering Thane from Mass Effect. In Eldari mythology, from whom were the fetid swords of Vol forged? Ooh. Cain, Ajuran, Eldanesh, Cain or Isha? Isha? No. I have no idea. I've heard of the Chrome swords, I've not heard of these other swords. Xavier's going for B, Weeaboo's going for C. No, Natman's going to me. With all your kit bashing skills, I wouldn't have put it past you. It was C, it was Weeaboo. Weeaboo's, you're doing well on these. I don't think. That's bad. I don't need the extra light on. I've just realised because I'm not painting. So I can unplug that. Slight temperature drop there, which is nice. Which Primarch wins in a fight? Guilliman, Dawn, the Khan, Sanguinius. Wait, the Khan? Because technically the other three all lost in a fight. Whereas the Khan didn't... I don't think the Khan lost against Mortarion. I think. Open the comments, I want to read it. It was Guilliman. The rest are already dead. What were the comments for that? I want to know. Everyone's like, low blow, wow. Everyone's like, wow, G-dubs, brutal, oof. Technically, but Morty cheated. Fair. That is name all four combined. Which of the following is not one of Nagash's Mortarchs? Radukar the Beast. Yeah. I mean, Arkham the Black is technically dead, right? Like, proper dead, as in, like, not, he's a zombie. Grom the Paunch is a famous goblin war boss, perhaps best known for his invasion of Uthan. What is the name of his standard bearer? Niblet. I'm gonna go with Niblet. Niblet sounds funny. Let's go with Niblet. Niblet sounds funny. It's gonna be something weird now. It was Niblet! Way! We nailed it. The infamously violent Blood Bowl player, Acorn the Squirrel, can be found in which Blood Bowl kit? Oh, the Tree Man! The Tree Man! I know this one! B. It's the Tree Man kit. But who hates Kazarak One-Eye? Wait, who is Kazarak One-Eye? Who hates? It's B. I'm so sure it's B. If they turn around and say it's not B, I'm going to be so confused. It's like B. Yeah! I have that kit. I did finish painting it, but I didn't like the paint job. It's one of the few times I've painted something and I've not posted it on Instagram because I didn't like it. What is the title for the officer in command of an Imperial Titan? Princeps. Oh, where is he? Where is Karazak One-Eye? I don't know who why is Karazak bugging me? I don't know who that is. Who's Karazak One-Eye? Princeps, right? Princeps. Whatever they want. Yeah, it's like, I'm controlling a Titan. You will call me whatever I want. Chapter Master Marnius Calgar has a great many titles and epithets. What is his middle name? Augustus. So Augustus is what was in my head. Augustus. D. Karazak One-Eye is a famous beastman lord who famously hated by Boris Toddbringer of the Empire. Okay. So he needs to come back. They don't exist now. I mean, technically, if we're going technical here, and I mean, like, if we're being really technical about this, Marnius Calgar is not Marnius Calgar, so I don't know if he took Marnius Calgar's body. So, I'm just saying. I'm gonna take my teeth out and be right back, like, yeah. Which of the following did not claim its own emperor in the Age of the Three Emperors? Stirland, Nordland, Midland, Talabackland. Is this old world stuff? I've not even heard of the Age of the Three Emperors. I feel the only one I've not heard of is D, so I'm going to say D. Oh. I like these quizzes. These are fun. Maybe I should make my own, so when I'm doing a BRB, you guys can have your own quizzes. It was B again. The Bad Moons are wealthy. Evil Sons love speed. Blood Axes like uniforms, camo and tactics. What is the Death Skull's thing? Being lucky because of the colour blue. Borrowing stuff from other orcs. Plundering the best scrap from the battlefield. All of the above. Is this an all of the above one? It's actually Malcolm Calgar, but they misspelled it on the first day, and now they've gone too far to correct it. All of the above, woo! Which Imperial organization maintains the Black Ships? The Sisters of Silence, or the Anathema Cyclone? I'm sure it is. The Adeptus Astra Telepathica? Yeah, so I assume... No, wait, so what does that fall under? That doesn't fall under any of those. Wait, what? Is it in the Inquisition? Do they technically fall under the Inquisition? I don't know. It's not the Adeptus Arbites. And it's not the Custodes. Even though they're part of the same hand of the... I'm so confused. It was the Adeptus Astra Telepathica. Wait, what? I thought it was Sisters of Silence. The 40k Mafia, they control the ship union. I like that. Which familiar is the best? Sanctifier Cherub with Intensifizer, or Incentivizer. The Skeletal Familiar, Uravane's Gyrinx, or Lothan's Octar. Oh, it's got to be D, right? It's got to be the crab. Crab. Wait, no, Lothan's not the crab, is it the octopus? Not the crab. Domestic can read. Oh, that was too quick. It was the Lothan's one. It is 7 o'clock. Yeah, guys, you're gonna have to let me know how you're doing on audio if you need me to up it or lower it at any point. I'll do my best to modulate it depending on how their audio is doing. As this one's not live, it should be fairly okay, I'm hoping.
Hello everybody and welcome to this very exciting preview. This is the big summer Warhammer preview. I am Adam Troke, this is Eddie Eccles, and we're delighted to have your company.
Yeah, this is going to be a really cool preview. We've got stuff from loads of different game systems to show you, loads of Warhammer to talk about. We think about 90 minutes of stuff. Is that right?
90 minutes.
About depending on how fast we talk and how sidetracked we get by all the details. But yeah, for the next hour and a half or so, we're going to fill the air with loads of cool Warhammer things. We've got things to cover from Warhammer 40,000, Warhammer Age of Sigmar, Warhammer the Old World, Warhammer Necromunda, Warhammer Blood Bowl, Warhammer Horus Heresy, and Legions Imperialis. Have I forgotten anything?
Kill Team.
Warhammer 40,000 Kill Team. So loads to go through.
Loads of different systems. It's not every single system that we make. There are a few systems we couldn't quite squeeze in. So we haven't got any Warcry for you. We haven't got any Underworld.
Or Middle Earth.
We haven't got any Middle Earth. But we'll have stuff on all of those game systems in the not too distant future.
Absolutely.
Okay, so they've acknowledged it.
If you want to hear about the news on those as it happens.
Okay.
Meanwhile, while the chat fills up and we get ready to kick off, there's a few things we normally do. The first thing is that we ask people in the chat where you're from. I was looking at the chat as people answered the...
I enjoyed the quiz.
I feel bad. I never asked you lot that.
Chat,
where are you all from?
Obviously, Adam.
Very good.
I did
Without
also
doxing
write
yourself.
questions, so I cheated a bit.
Perfect. I was doing all right myself. And I saw where some people are from. We've got people from Texas. There's people from all around the UK. Lot from Europe as well. I saw some France and some Germany. So wherever you are in this global Warhammer community, welcome
My
to
house.
the preview. We're delighted to spend some time with us.
Yep, absolutely. Are you doing any hobby recently?
Nadia.
I've found doing hobby a bit hard. I've been very busy, and also the weather is
having
tea
completely
with Mr.
matter
Thomas. That's
painting
what you're
right
doing.
now here in the UK. We are getting burninated. But I have put together everything.
Homer!
that
Be
was
surprised
on the
if anyone
Facebook
gets
side
that
of
reference.
My Armageddon box,
Nice.
including sort of dark angeling, is that a word?
Why not?
The models with some extra details and backgrounds and things like that. What about you?
Bit of Eldari, painting some of them. Doing a little bit of Caradrons on my painting table at the moment, and
Did you finish your cockpit?
I did finish my Cogfort. Yes.
That's me in the corner with the flashlight and a terrified look on my
It
face.
was, yeah.
Nice. So,
What those-
meanwhile, the other thing
Wait,
I've been
that's
doing
you.
to fill a little bit of my hobby time is I've been sort of
Who's that?
theory hammering some.
They said
armies,
hobby time. I was
using
mentioned.
Warhammer
Yes.
40,000
Let's
apps.
go.
And I've been looking at. I saw somebody had made a really interesting little video on like
Let's do
Instagram or
this.
somewhere about how you could use the Fulgurist detachment, which is like land speed eccentric. And so I'm
Wait.
trying to work out how I can synergize.
You
that
are
with
here,
the
Saviour. How you
Raven
doing?
things, like a very fast moving.
How you been?
Sort of attacking and deep striking in force.
Yeah, a lot of people doing Warhammer 40,000.
You are the
Theory.
streamer.
Yeah, I've been
You
caught
are
up
the
in the
streamer
wave,
bean.
I think. What about you?
Yeah, obviously I've got one list for every single faction in 40k.
Yeah,
And
Ready?
you played your first official
I've
game of the new
played
edition.
one game, one official game of the new edition so far with my Eldar against Tau.
You were undefeated, retirement.
So far,
Perfect.
Yeah,
I've
I'm
got
big
another.
in Nottingham.
Right,
Let's go.
so, as we said, we've got loads of things to talk about throughout the course of this preview. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope that you have a nice time. We are going to start off the show by going to the grim darkness of the far future, and we're going to talk about some things for Warhammer 40,000. So here we
We
are.
haven't had anything new for
with
40k in a while.
Warhammer 40,000
hyped.
Armageddon, the launch box for the new edition, sort of out there in the wild. It's worth talking about some of the things that are coming up, and the first thing that we're going to talk about is how new people to Warhammer might get started. In
New
the
start
Warhammer
sets,
40,000
let's go.
hobby with some Warhammer 40,000 starter sets. So here is the Warhammer 40,000 starter set. We've got one in the flesh. This
Okay.
is an enormous box.
That's a big
and
box.
is the perfect way if you've never played Warhammer 40,000 before and want to get started to jump
Has that
straight
got
into the
terrain
hobby.
in it?
Eddie, what can you tell us about it?
Yeah, so we did know that some of the miniatures from the Warhammer 40,000 Armageddon set would be available in other sets in the future. This is one of the first places you'll be able to get hold of them. So
has
in
terrain.
this, you effectively have a combat patrol of Space Marines, painted as Ultramarines, but you can paint them whatever colour you want. You've also got a combat patrol of Orcs. You've also got a battlefield of stuff to play across, and effectively a combat patrol's worth of battlefield terrain for combat patrol. So like
Yeah, absolutely. This is essentially everything you need to get started with your first games of Warhammer 40,000 all in one box. All the models are push fit. The terrain's really easy to put together. It's got the game board and all of the pieces marked out for you to put your
That's a
terrain
good
on.
box.
So you can just
That's a
play
very
straight
good
out of this
box.
box if you want to.
yeah, it's also got all the rules and stuff in there.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got your core rules and then the sort of the guide for using the models that are in the box. So this is the first of the starter products that we're going to talk about right now, but there's more to come. So what if you wanted to get started in Warhammer 40,000, you don't want the 2-player launch set, and you just want maybe a starter set which focuses on one of the
interesting.
factions? Well, this is getting started with Space Marines and is the same combat patrol that you saw in the previous box, and it comes complete with the paints that you would need to do your first paint jobs on these models. I think it's 11 paints in the set, so you can get started right away with the Adeptus Astartes.
Yeah, and this is perfect if you've already got a gaming group, they've already got their box sets, they've split them all up, and you've got an odd number of players, and what if you want Space Marines, you can grab yourself this set and start playing straight away. This is your self-contained little starter set for Space Marines.
It will perhaps surprise nobody to know there is an Orc equivalent of this.
Okay.
Yes, this is almost exactly the same, but green.
There you go.
So you have the combat patrol for Orcs, then you've got a bunch of variously
I
Orc
feel
paints. So this is a great little set if you want to kick off an Orc army.
I'm glad
Yeah,
it comes
and I
with
think
paints.
one of the things to note here, you've already said it, but if you're just looking to sort of join in with an existing group, or maybe just start one of these armies for the first time and you're already in Warhammer 40,000, this really is a great way
I'm glad
to
it comes
do
with
because you
paints,
get the
but
paints you
I
need to
almost wish
start
they
the
have
painting
gone
process too.
included
Or
in the
if you just
price
have
is
an
go
orc
and
army,
select
just
your
want loads
paints,
more
like
paints.
they do the deal where you get
Yeah,
10
no
paints
kidding.
and one free.
There's another way to get started as well, which is this introductory set, and I find this one to be quite exciting. You've got some Space Marines and some Orcs and some paints, and you can have a gaming experience, but it's really sort of a first steps into the Warhammer 40,000 gaming and hobby experience.
Yeah, it's a little bit of everything, and the thing that's cool about this to point
It was
out
11
is that
paints
while
is
the
what it
other
said,
sets, the
San
miniatures
Diego.
are the same
11
ones from
paints
the
per
Warhammer
box, the
40,000
other two
Armageddon
had.
set, these ones are brand new miniatures. So you've got 5 intercessors in there. You've got a Space Marine Lieutenant. It's been like a whole week since we had a new Space Marine Lieutenant.
Couldn't have come
had
soon
to
enough.
have
Space Marine
one.
Lieutenant!
And then you've got
Reset
a
the
new
clock.
unit of Orc Boys. They are the Orc Boys
Lieutenant,
are the same
not
kind of
Lieutenant,
unit as the ones you get in Armageddon, but they've got different poses. And critically, you've also got some heavy and special weapons
Yeah, you've
in
got
the
a
Orc
big
squad.
shooter and a rocket launcher inside.
Absolutely.
that
So
set.
if you want to add in some extra shooting into your big Orc mobs, you can, and all the characters are kind of new poses as well. So it's quite a
Interesting.
cool little set.
I get weirdly excited about all the different poses of intercessors, particularly these sort of push-fit ones to find.
I need a
easy to
Space
build.
Marine
So
Lieutenant!
somebody
Slap
was-
me, I'm
somebody
dreaming!
was, hinting.
Let's
There we
go.
We're on. Right. There's also some paint sets.
Paint
This is the
tools.
paint and tool set. This will synergize perfectly.
That looks like a
with that
different
Warhammer
brush
40,000 starter
to
set where
normal.
you get the combat
That looks
controls. It's got 13 paints,
Yeah.
clippers, mold line removing tool, and a brush. Everything you need to get started with your painting journey.
Everything's a
If
Marneus
you've never
Calgar
painted
model if you
Warhammer
convert
models
hard
before,
enough.
this would be a decent pickup.
Yeah, this is a lovely little set. I started with a set a lot like this when I started playing Warhammer. You can paint almost anything with this box because you've got all your primary colours and then black and white and your metallics and some really useful.
This is a
little
good
tools. So
range
this
of
is just a
starters.
really
No like
solid
ultimate
base
recruit
for-
or anything.
Yeah,
Just
absolutely. If you
big
want
star
one more
box,
themed for
individual
particular
star
army,
boxes.
You can start with this, which is very much like the set I
Paint
started
sets.
painting with Warhammer, which was an Orcs paint set back in the day. This is boys and paints. So you've got 6 paints and a brush and a couple of Orc boys and a grot. Again, just dip your toe into the painting experience.
Looking at
and,
what's
see
in
how you
there,
get along.
there's no wash in
There's
there.
a Space Marine equivalent.
That's
which
interesting.
Is intercessors and paints. Again, 6 paints. A
Yeah,
brush
this is
and 2
basically
Space Marine
just
intercessors.
very basic.
Deep breath. That was a lot of ways to
But
start
you can thin down
your
the black to
Warhammer
make it a wash if you
40,000
wanted it, and
experience.
no, that's-
And I think it would be a good time to like introduce your friends or the family member
Okay.
or relative or whatever.
A
that you
good
wanna,
selection of
like,
It's a
starters.
really,
find
it's a
in
really
the
good
set.
time to
For
start
me,
playing.
that's a good
Warhammer
selection of
40,000 because
starters.
it's a brand new edition out. Everyone's kind of in the same place. Everyone's learning the rules together. This is the perfect time to hop in.
Nice, I love
Uh-huh.
it. So it follows on quite nicely. We're going to talk about some terrain now. So we've got some
Terrain,
really
terrain,
interesting
terrain.
kits to point out and talk about. The first is Combat Patrol Battle Zone.
Let's
so
go.
This is all of the terrain you see here in a box, along with the game boards and the tiles to the terrain prints to put the terrain on. This is everything you need in one box to play a complete game of Combat Patrol.
Yeah.
Okay,
And if you've already
I like
bought
that.
the starter set, if you add this box onto the starter set, you effectively have a full took boards worth of terrain for something like an incursion or 2,000-point game.
That's
of
pretty
Warhammer
good.
40,000,
Okay.
or in a self-contained set, it is the exact right amount of stuff to play Combat Patrol.
Yeah, and worth pointing out this with this one, this like the models in the starter set are unpainted. So all of these terrain pieces, they come on the grey plastic that you're familiar with.
Unpainted terrain.
Easy to put together, and then you can paint them in the colour.
Like what was in the starter set. The starter set is unpainted terrain.
Whatever you would like.
Yeah, this set, Combat Patrol set, comes in around the same price as a Combat Patrol itself.
Perfect.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
If you want to add more things to it, or you just want to focus on building a terrain board that suits your own preferences, we've got a few little terrain sets to talk about. This is the Manufactorum Ruins, which are those sort of classic building shapes that you often see on battlefields.
Yeah.
There's some of these in
Okay,
that
terrain.
Combat Patrol
I'm
set
happy
that we
with
just
some
showed
terrain.
you before. There's more. There's also the galvanic network. This represents these power lines and things that run across the sort of ash wastes of Armageddon, and is a wonderful way to bring some
So these
character
look
to
like
your
they're all the
battlefield.
unpainted
And then you've
sets.
got the capacitor cluster here, which looks like it's writhing with electricity, and you've got like a really unfortunate servitor trapped in the console at the front.
Yeah, life's pretty tough for servitors in Warhammer 40,000.
It is. It's not the best.
Anything
now,
unpainted?
all of that is really exciting terrain. All comes unpainted, and is all coming fairly soon down the pipe.
That's
There's
absolutely true.
something else we need to explain to people that you've already talked about a little bit with Aidan on a video before, right?
That's absolutely right. Currently,
Pre-painted
all
terrain.
the terrain in my collection is Eddie painted. Very
Perfect.
soon, I'll be able to also benefit from ready painted terrain.
Ooh.
This is the new
Ooh.
ready painted Battlefield Armageddon box, and this is everything you need for a full incursion-sized game of Warhammer 40,000 in one box, and all of the terrain in this comes ready painted and ready to go.
Yeah,
Show us
box
the
is
stuff.
enormous. It is checked with absolutely loads of fantastic
Interesting.
terrain, and we've got one here to open. So what we thought we'd do is actually just crack one open and build one of the terrain pieces in it,
So
nice and
while-
quickly, to show you what it's like.
While Adam tells you about it, I'm going to build one of the terrain pieces in here.
Okay.
To show you how quickly
This-
it
Get
I'm
clicking,
intrigued by
right. So
this.
what we've got is some nice pictures to show you while Eddie gets feverishly to work. So here you can see what you're dealing with. Essentially, it is a full
So
battlefield's worth
this
of
the stuff at
already
UK
painted
Games Expo
terrain.
wasn't the
Try and talk over
pre-painted
the
stuff.
rummaging and crashing of Eddie.
I thought the same thing. Turned out they
The set
confirmed
comes
it
with
wasn't the
game boards
pre-painted.
that
That had been
you need. It has the
painted by the
terrain
heavy metal team.
markers, so you know where to put
If
your
it's the
terrain
stuff in the
pieces
glass
onto.
cabinet you're talking about,
And
anyway.
obviously the terrain is painted to
I thought it was the pre-painted.
ready painted to a brilliant standard. So if you are looking to just clip things out from the frames, put it together quickly, and start playing a game of Warhammer 40,000 on a battlefield that looks really good.
I'd laugh so much if
is
this
a
isn't
wonderful
machine
way to do
painted.
it.
It's
gonna be
just some
enormously
really
popular
they've
with
just got a
people
heavy
who,
metal painted,
you
just
know, like
solidly
me at home,
painted
I've already got
sets.
my own terrain board, but if I wanted to host a game night and I wanted maybe like 3 friends to come over so we could like play round robin style games, this would enable me to do it nice and quickly. You can imagine gaming clubs and tournaments, and all of those people who have a need
wow,
for a
yeah,
nice
that is
looking battlefield
snipping off
quickly
the sprue.
are going to find this to be really exciting.
Feel free to hold that one up. if you
Oh,
wanna
there you
show
go.
people
I'll
the
show you what it
details.
looks like. Here you go. If we get a zoom in on this. So this is a piece directly off of the frame that Eddie has just worked on. And you can see the level of detail. You've got the fantastic glow effects around the sort of the lumens and the candles and so on. Inside you can see the interior detail. Some within the sort of the walls you can see this sort of chipped
That's
and
interesting.
very nicely done sort of corrosion dripping down the walls. Really is
I've
a
spotted
very
a flaw.
impressive piece of terrain.
And I don't want to sound like I'm nagging on it.
So now we've got 2. Now I always
Because
try
it
and put
comes on
these together too early,
sprue,
so I don't
when
know.
you snipped it off the sprue, there is going to be a
Essentially, it just
section of
push fits. One
unpainted
of the things
plastic
that we've
because you
discovered,
snipped it off the
the
sprue.
guys who run our global events are really excited about this because it's going to enable them to put together large battlefields very quickly.
Am I making
and
sense?
you can also unclip these things when you're ready to.
They got
and
Sam
put
M to do it
into
for
a
20.
relatively,
Well, I didn't know they would do it. They had it there.
Yeah, the
When I
whole
spoke to
thing,
the
actually,
people at the
if
booth,
you
they said they
leave
didn't have it
the
even
kind of
there. That was the
floors
stuff
off,
painted.
then the
Obviously
whole
got someone
thing-
who lied to me. Outrageous.
We need to do a bit more clipping.
Bit more
There you
clipping,
go.
find a bit more clipping. If you take the floors out, the whole thing packs back into the box,
There you go.
pretty much. So that's pretty easy.
Which is
Oh,
nice if you're
okay.
looking for somewhere to store your models.
And I am. I think we're almost there. Almost there.
Perfect.
Ah.
So one of the things I think that's quite nice about this is I speed painted my entire battlefield, but it took me all of a Saturday to build and then all of a Sunday to speed paint, and it's still not of the same quality as the completion on this. And so you've done the first building in what? The amount of time
Done.
it's taken us
Whoa.
to talk about this. There we go. Moving it around. And it really does look wonderful. You can see the bulkhead door and everything inside it. I couldn't be more excited.
Yeah, I
about
think I'm pretty pleased with this. I'm quite pleased with the
Okay.
effect I've got on some of the glow there as well.
I wanna
the
see
dry
the,
brushing,
Are
bits
you
where they
taking
snip.
on this.
credit for all this work?
Yeah, I just made this. You all saw it.
Lovely. Nice. So this is on its way later in the year. It will come behind all of the other starter products that we just talked about.
Okay.
And so you're looking.
It's coming later in the year.
Autumn time or beyond, right?
Yeah, and in terms of price, this one comes in. It has twice as much terrain as the
with you
Combat
now.
Patrol Battlefield, and it comes in at a little bit more than the cost of 2 Combat Patrols.
There you go. So
Ooh,
yeah,
a little
really
bit more
exciting.
than the cost of 2 combat patrols.
Okay.
So you're talking about 200 quid.
We've talked about all of the
250,
star sets, we've talked about all
220?
the terrain, the ready paint terrain, very exciting. I guess we should talk a little bit about the things that are coming along with the first codex of
Yeah,
11th
we should
edition.
probably do that.
So it's time to look at some orcs.
You want some wheels? Get yourself a truck. I got all the trucks. Big trucks, bigger trucks, the best trucks. They's got all the gubbins and guns. Grabbing tools, rammy bits, shooters, rockets, you name it. Remember, walking is for kicks and grots. Go fast or go home.
Vehicles may explode when fired upon. Safety of transported boys is not guaranteed.
That was fun. It's a good
New
time to be an orc
trucks,
this
let's
year,
go!
It is. They are getting absolutely spoiled. We can confirm today the first codex is orcs, and alongside the codex there are a whole bunch of
First
new
codex of the
miniatures.
new edition
One
is
of the most
orcs.
exciting miniatures
That's
on its way
interesting.
is that new truck and that new mech, which are on their
Should we
way.
talk about the mech first?
Let's do the mech first. So, orc mechs, those of you who know orcs will know, these are the mechanics that basically put together all of the weird and wonderful creations that's going to battle alongside your orcs. They are surprisingly good at
Odd
science.
boys with the
Yeah.
innate knowledge to just make
Yeah, but
awesome
weird
things out of
G-
stuff.
Orcs.
Gene-coded, innate,
Orcs.
kind of inherited knowledge in terms of how to make things like
That's a really
teleporters
nice
and
sculpt.
trucks and guns and
I
shooters.
wish I
really
had those
nice.
skills.
Yeah, I
I'd be
mean,
much
you know,
more
if you
useful
apply
around the
yourself, I'm
house.
sure you can do it. But yeah, this is a really cool miniature. It has a kind of really thematic. He's got a kind of spanner clobber thing there. He's got his slugger. But the thing that he really does is kind of bring with him all of the awesome machines that make Orc Army so fun to play in
Yeah.
Warhammer 40,000.
So
That's
with no
cool
further ado,
sculpt.
let's
I like
talk
that.
about the truck then, which is maybe the star of
Yeah,
that show.
trucks!
This is the new orc truck. It's an evolution of the classic orc truck that you know and love. A little bit bigger, a few more options, and is really just wonderful to look at. It comes with a variety of options in terms of weapon mounts.
I
You've
love
got
how it's all
the,
wiggledy-piggledy.
the big shooter,
That's great.
you've got the rocket launcher, you have options for a grabber claw and a buzzsaw, and all of those can be swapped in positions on the top so that you can build different configurations to have some great variety as you're
That's
making
cool.
your trucks.
Yeah, this is a phenomenally cool miniature. Like the current truck is really cool, right?
Absolutely.
The truck that is in current Orc armies is a perfectly good vehicle, but it's been with us for a long time now, right? Like it's been
What is it, 15 years?
It's
want
not
one of
been
the
like
old
that, yeah,
trucks.
it's been
Go
around
and
for a
grab
while.
them now
This
before
is
they
a
get taken off the
beautiful
website.
reinvention of it. The thing that really makes this is the fact that you can build it in so many different ways. Where the pintle mount goes, where the close combat weapon goes, how the boys are positioned, what the driver looks like,
Even
what goes
here on
on
the screen, you can see the way it looks
I
like
like
it's coming
that.
around the corner because you can alter the look of the suspension.
Yeah, you can kind of play with where the wheels are, and I think especially if you've gone for a really heavy sort of Evil Sons or Speed Freak style army,
Yeah.
and you want to have a bit of variety in your force, this one kit with
That's
with
so
no
cool.
changes at all from what comes in the box can be built enough times that you would.
I
never
saw
need
these
to
trucks and I
replicate
immediately
one
thought
single
Goliath
And
Ash Waste.
So we've got a couple here on
Yes,
the
yes,
desk.
snap
The
man.
one I'm most excited by is the one with this awesome looking skull prow at the front. It just looks so like mean and orky. This sort of whole skull motif
What's
of the
behind
orcs
it?
is so iconic. Yeah, really fantastic.
There's something to the
Now,
side of his
What we
laptop.
wanted to do, the reason we brought these along, is so I can sandwich this little guy
Get
in
make some
between them
space in the parking
and
lot
just
there.
show you, if you've already got some orc trucks in your collection, how nice they're going to look. Don't want to mangle the models, Adam.
Oh,
I know, right? So this is how it looks with the classic truck in between. It's
Yeah,
a really
that
good
doesn't
look.
look-
I think
that
people
doesn't
are
look
going
too
to be very
different
happy.
size-wise.
Some trucks
That's
in
quite
your army,
nice.
you can absolutely keep them alongside these new ones. I think there's something to be said for an orc army. It's got a bit of a ramshackle look to it.
For an older
so,
kit, that
you
old
could
truck is
replace them
holding up
completely, or if you want to have a mix, that's absolutely
amazingly
fine.
well.
But I think the new ones just bring. They just look great. They've got so many cool options.
Yeah, I agree.
They're going to look phenomenal.
Nice.
Mm.
So that's a couple of fantastic brand new kits coming for the orcs. There's more on the way that people might be able to learn about through the progress of the Deathmire.
Yeah, that's right. So there's lots of orc stuff still to come. Some of the stuff we're showing you today, some of it will be revealed potentially if the orcs do well in the Siege of Deathmire campaign that's currently running. So if you want to see some more orcs, play some games, send in your results, and you
Interesting.
might get to see some more very, very soon. There are a few other boxes to talk about today, though. We've got the other stuff from Armageddon as well.
Yeah, that's right. So essentially, if you wanted to pick up some of the things from
Oh, nice.
Armageddon or duplicate them, we're going to be releasing the Dakar rig separately, the War Track separately, and the Weird Boy separately, and also the other sort of command staff. Is that the right word for an orc?
Sure, why not?
So the Banner Knob, the Big Boss, and the Pain Boy will be released in a command crew set as well. So there's a whole bunch of extra stuff to come. we should probably talk a bit about the codex itself, though,
Yes.
right? So,
You'll see the cover
obviously,
art.
this is the first codex of 11th edition, and it heralds something really exciting in terms of a format change for Warhammer 40,000 codexes. So here you can see it's contained in a slipcase, and we've got one live in front of you. So it's a perfect bound book,
Softback.
slightly smaller than the codexes in terms of the
Oh, I know. Why are you buffering?
but it is really thick and is packed with an incredible amount of orky content.
178
Ooh, I like
pages
that.
of it.
Perfect. And the first thing that I would like to just eulogize on is how incredible the lore section for this is. We are talking a really thick lore section, which is everything you would want to know about the orcs and how they operate. It's got a gatefold map, you can see it here, which is the orky perspective on the galaxy, all the places.
I've
the orcs
wanted
are fighting,
smaller
all the different
codexes for a
wars that are
while.
taking
I used to
place.
love the A5
But there's a lot
ones.
more to it than that. It talks about the orcs, where they come from, how they fight, their culture, the different clan structures. Literally the most complete guide on orcs you could hope for, and perhaps the most information on orcs there's ever been in one place. Every unit gets its own full bestiary section, for example. Information on the glyphs, information on like what
And the
clan
return of the
icons and
fold-out
things like.
page.
It's really great. But also, some people might be interested in the rules.
Yeah, so one of the big changes to the rules in this codex versus the previous ones was in the last edition, there was quite a lot of rules in your codex, but quite a lot of them you couldn't use in all the different types of games. So if some of it you could only use in Crusade games, for example, all of the rules in this codex, and there are at least as many rules in this one as there were in the last one, you
Yeah.
can use in every type of game. One of the ways that manifests, you'll immediately notice, is the amount of detachments that you get to play with. There are 15 different orc detachments in this codex.
That's loads of ways to use
Loads
your
of different
army,
ways to put your army together, ranging from lots of different sizes in terms of detachment points. It gives you a huge variety of different ways that you can potentially put an army together. Some of these you could probably guess at the themes. There are like some fast ones, some stompy ones.
Yeah, the
some
Fly
all-
Boys gives itself away, doesn't
Right,
it?
like so there's some ones you could probably guess at, but there'll be loads of brand new ways that you could put together an orc army that's just never been possible
Oh,
before.
it's
And
amazing.
it gives you a sense of what codexes will feel like in the new edition, where they will bring this huge variety of list building opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's more to it than just the detachments. Obviously, the rules have been looked at by the Warhammer rules team, and they've come up with some things. This is the army special rule, essentially, isn't it?
Yeah, so WAR, right? You can't have WAR, you can't have an orc codex without a WAR. The WAR rule has changed a little bit, so there'll be some things that are familiar. There's some slight changes. It still allows you to run and charge, but it now lets you re-roll that run as well. It also lets you have assault on all of your weapons, which is a thing it didn't used to do. So that means that if you've gone for a very shooty army, so like speed freaks, you've got loads of like bikes and buggies and things.
Yeah, like stand back with flash kits.
Yeah,
or
that's
whatever.
immediately really useful. And it also gives you the riled up ability, which triggers all sorts of things across all the sorts of different bits of the codex, where other units will become more powerful, and you still get that invulnerable save as well to make your.
It's a
orcs-
really great army.
It's
That's
a
a
really,
really
really
big
good
up-
rule.
big
For one
upgrade
turn of the
to
game,
WAR.
you'll have a great turn every single game.
Yeah, and then all of the units within the codex have had their data sheets looked at. So here's the truck that we just showed you before, and you can see what's gone on with it. So you can see the different weapon options and things to give you a sense of what it means for your codex, I suppose.
Yeah, so what you'd expect, it still kind of has a similar-ish stat line to what the truck does at the moment. It is a kind of medium-sized vehicle. The things that you'll notice are that it has more weapon options than it used to.
I
so
love
you've
that
got
it says
options there for different combat weapons.
It has a transport
different
capacity of
shooting
12,
weapons.
but it
And
cannot
piling out
transport
is quite
Castle
a
Thraka.
nice
Yeah,
thing, isn't it?
you've got a really cool little mechanic where if an enemy unit gets nearby, something like a unit of fire dragons or eliminators or something is ready to kind of ready to kill your truck, you can pile the boys out, ready to kind of counter charge or to avoid being caught in the explosion or something like that. It's a really useful little rule that's got some quite neat little tactical plays you can do with it. So I think trucks are going to be very useful.
Yeah, perfect. And then in terms of other data sheets being looked at, it'd be worth looking at the Orc Boys, who really have had something of a stat line glow up, it's fair to say.
Yeah, there's a lot going on this data sheet, and I think I would recommend if you've got an
There's
orc
a
army,
lot.
take a screenshot. There's
Yeah,
some cool stuff
now
there.
is the moment to record this.
There's the first thing you'll notice is there's loads of weapon options. So one of the things we got asked a lot about the Armageddon box was, is that all the options that the orcs will have in the new edition?
Definitely
it absolutely
not.
isn't. You've got loads of different choices.
Wow,
In fact,
that's a
More than
big
you've had
date.
recently.
more than I think you've ever had for an orc unit. You've got some classic stuff returning. So you've got a burner back in this
Big
unit
fan
now,
of not having a roll to hit.
which is pretty cool. You've got loads of different options for your boss's weapon. And the thing I want to draw your attention to is almost kind of tucked away right at the bottom of that stat line there is the strength of a basic orc boy is now 5. And that is
Such bad news for
that
Space
is an
Marines.
across the codex update to your orcs. Every single orc is at least strength 5 all of the time now. So that goes for boys. It also goes for your kind of beast snaggers, and all of the things like your knobs and war bosses and everything get a commensurate increase as well. So your already pretty scary orcs get even scarier all the time in close combat.
Fantastic. I think it just looks like a load of great information. I'm really excited
I'm
about
going to
this
have a
codex.
great time with this codex.
Yeah,
I'm going to have a really
That is a
And
big
it heralds
update.
something
That's
really
a big
interesting. The
update
last
for
thing
it.
to talk about with the codex is obviously in the back of it, it includes the code that you will put into your Warhammer 40,000 app to unlock and access the rules. It does something else on top of that. This is kind of like your passport to ongoing content for your Warhammer 40,000 Orc Codex throughout its lifespan. There will be regular drops of lore and rules so that you can continue to get great stuff out of your codex as the time continues. They've given us a sneak peek into some of the stuff that's coming, and it sounds both really cool.
Oh, interesting.
And really
So
thematic.
now
I'm
it's
quite
like
excited to see what happens
live
with that.
digital
And then
updates.
I imagine all the other codexes that follow.
Yep, absolutely.
Perfect. So yeah, the first codex coming down the pipe is Warhammer 40,000 Orcs, and it looks amazing.
Do stick around. We have more Warhammer 40,000 for you later in the preview.
Yes,
as
yeah,
well,
we'll be
so do stick
returning
around.
to the 41st millennium later on in the show. For now, though, we're going to segue into something which is quite interesting. We've talked a lot about ways to get people who are new to Warhammer started with Warhammer 40,000. So let's talk for a little bit about the Warhammer Academy.
So much new stuff. We're on an adventure! It's a lot to unpack from all those all the orc stuff.
Wise wizard beneath the mountain, we are in search of enlightenment. Long and difficult has been our journey, and many things are still hidden from us.
Tell me what you seek.
What is the difference between the Black Rage and the Red Thirst?
How do you get decals to lay smoothly on a Space Marine's shoulder?
Yeah.
And how exactly do you use command points?
Ah! So you seek to learn the ways of Warhammer.
It's a new website. Oh, okay. This is interesting.
So, Wise Wizard Beneath the Mountain. What is the Warhammer Academy?
I'm so glad you asked, Eddie.
I wasn't expecting
Warhammer
to.
Academy is a really exciting thing that we've been working on behind the scenes here at Games Workshop for a while now, and is the perfect way to answer the question, how do I get started with Warhammer? The idea is that people can come to this website, which is free to use, and they can get guided first steps on how to begin exploring Warhammer. So there's going to be at launch like well over 100 videos, which are all video lessons that deal with the lore and collecting, with painting and modelling, and with gaming, to get you on your first steps. I'm out of breath, I have to throw this costume on, to get you started on your sort of first steps through Warhammer. When the website launches, it will focus on Warhammer 40,000 to coincide alongside all of these new starter products, so that people can like experience Warhammer for the first time and go through sort of learning all about the universe and what the factions and the armies are, and really going on that same journey that we've been doing when we've been able to sit down with somebody. And
It feels
tell
like that's going to
all
be a
about
really
what Warhammer
useful
is.
tool for people.
And then the painting team have put together these amazing videos that start really basic and then go all the way through to some really great techniques that will have your army looking fantastic. And then the gaming side takes it from the assumption you've never played a game of Warhammer before and takes you all the way through to playing your first games of Combat Patrol, which we played and had a lot of fun with. And so you should be able to have a wonderful experience. If you are completely new to Warhammer, or there's somebody in your life that wants to get started, this is a wonderful thing to point them towards when we launch it, and they'll be able to take their first steps. If you want to sharpen your own skills, we talk about, as we've been working on the Academy, the idea that you can build your skills, your confidence, and your experience to get the most out of this wonderful Warhammer hobby that we all enjoy.
Thank you for the hydrate your
And
hand.
so the whole purpose of this Academy, which is free to use, is to just get on board and sharpen those skills and your confidence and have a great time.
Sounds wonderful.
Nice. And the releases alongside those Warhammer 40,000 starter sets that we talked about previously, so not long now, a month or so. and then
Interesting.
You'll be able to see
I have
Warhammer
thoughts.
Academy for yourself.
I'm going to
That's great.
sit on my
Perfect.
thoughts
I'm really excited
for the video.
Right.
And then
now I'm going to get out of this costume, and
cut
while
out
we
my
do,
thoughts.
let's travel to the old world.
Old world!
Welcome back. I've returned to normal, and we are now thrilled by some news for Warhammer the Old World. That was a great looking box of miniatures. There's a lot to talk about. We've got some of the models here to get close-ups on in a little while. For now, let's dive into that new 2-player box for Warhammer the Old World. This features 2 armies going head-to-head. You have the army of Grand Cathay going up against the Chaos Warriors. So within it, you will see in a moment the Cathay force. This is Grand Cathay. They're fairly recent addition
they're
to
quite new
Warhammer the Old World.
This looks good.
And this is an army you'll have already seen before. So you've got the Jade Warriors, you've got the Jade Lancers, units that you'll be familiar with. And they're taking a big part in the sort of ongoing struggles in the Old World at the moment. They've dispatched an enormous force to aid against the Chaos invasion that's taking place. It's a beautiful army. You've seen it before. The showstopper for this new box is the wonderful new range of all plastic Warriors of Chaos, which you'll find in the other half of this box.
They look
so here you can see the Chaos
fantastic.
Warriors themselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this
beautiful.
is an amazing update to your Warhammer Old World Warriors of Chaos. Warriors of Chaos, of course, one of the archetypal villains, one of the archetypal visuals, really, of Warhammer the Old World. This is a really cool army. All the bits in this are multi-part, and these are all brand new plastic miniatures.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Chaos Warriors are kind of the mainstay of the Warriors of Chaos army. These are elite
great.
heavy infantry in the best armor that you can get in Warhammer the Old World, and they stride forward in ranks of hard-to-kill warriors, and they will deal punishment when they get there. Of course, they are but part of this new force. The other part, and perhaps the most iconic of the Warriors of Chaos units, are the Chaos Knights. These are super elite heavy cavalry. Inside this new box, you get 4 Chaos Knights. It's a classic size. If you remember days of yore, you're going back in time a long way now, when Chaos Knights used to often feature in units of 4. So you have what you'd expect: a champion, a musician, a standard bearer, and then an additional knight. They can be swapped out with the lances that you see here in the picture.
And
so
you can
do
add
big
into the unit, obviously, and
yeah,
make
absolutely.
it bigger.
You get 4 in the box. You'll be able to get more as time goes on. So if you want to build bigger
They're
units
gorgeous.
of Chaos
They're
Knights, you certainly will
really,
be able
really
to.
nice.
Chaos Knights are some of the hardest hitting and most dangerous cavalry units in all of Warhammer.
They're also just like almost the archetypal heavy cavalry, right? Like
Yeah,
when
absolutely.
you build an army for Warhammer the Old World, you're like, well, I can take a charge, but could I take a charge from Chaos Knights?
Probably
it's like
not.
the absolute pinnacle of the hardest hitting unit. So lots of people very keen to include this unit in their army if you've got a Chaos force. So almost never see a Chaos army without a unit of Chaos Knights. They're just so effective.
Yeah, absolutely.
look
And
absolutely
then the force
fantastic.
is led by some champions of chaos. You have one on foot and one on horse. This one here you can see is modelled as a battle standard bearer.
Okay, who's starting?
The kit
Who's
contains
starting
enough options
this?
that you can
Who's
swap
starting
around
Warriors
the
of
things.
Chaos?
So in a moment, as we see the screen progress, you'll see some of the things you can do. It also has a chaos champion on a demonic mount. This is my favourite model in the set. It is
Yes,
beautiful.
Natman.
It is a really
Tigers,
iconic
tigers,
image.
I think it looks like the artwork of Chaos Warriors from some of those old Warhammer Fantasy
yeah.
army books, and the miniatures have finally got to the point where they can
It looks
capture
epic, but I must say
like,
no to it.
the
It's
thing
like
that
too
you
many
sort of
games that
imagined
really
that Chaos
sit.
Warriors what you
I
wanted
get
them
that
to look
Sanjuro.
like all those years ago. It's just such a cool kit. I love the standard bearer.
I've not
as well. I
started
think
Old
this
World because
Champion
I don't
kit is one
I
of
don't
the
play
best
enough.
Sort of hero kits.
But these look
that
beautiful
Warhammer
just
has
as a
yet
painting
released.
Yeah, I
project.
don't have a Chaos Army for Warhammer, I never have, but I would really like to get my hands on that model. I think it just works beautifully. So, let's talk for a little bit about that
Sure was the
box.
dragon.
It's a
Let me see the
two-player
dragon.
core box for Warhammer the Old World. It's essentially what you need to start playing Warhammer the Old World if you haven't before. It's an enormous box.
thick.
It contains the armies. It also contains the rulebook and a muster list. The rulebook is the same rules as you currently use for Warhammer the Old World. So if you're sat there
So no new
worrying
update,
that this
just
is going to
same
change the
rules.
rules that you're playing with, it won't. The difference really with this rulebook and the rulebook you already have, if you're already playing the Old World, is that the erratas and things that exist online are woven into this. So that should make life a little
You
bit
can bring
easier.
just this book, and you don't need to worry
fair.
about any other documents. or anything. You can
Exactly.
just have
And
a look.
then further to that, it has an additional section called Battle March. We'll talk more about that in a little
I
while.
saw another miniature when we were showing up some of that.
Yeah,
Chaos
we'll
stuff.
just talk about the muster list before we go. Muster list is the rules for the models that are in the box. There you go. This is how to play Warhammer all in one handy
Okay.
box, and is very exciting and continues
Interesting.
the thing that we know and love. Now,
Let's talk dragons, Adam.
yeah, let's talk dragons.
Dragons!
This might be my favourite thing in the entire preview. It is such a show-stopping model. This is the Warriors of Chaos, Lord
that's
on Chaos
pretty.
Dragon, and there's so much to talk about. Eddie?
You just get a sense of the size of it just from that shot where it was already taller than the 3-story building
Yeah,
that
no
were behind
kidding.
it. It is an absolutely
That's
enormous,
stunning.
phenomenally cool miniature
Ooh.
for Warhammer the Old World. I think probably the biggest monster we've had released yet.
It's got to be right up there, and there have been some fantastic kits since Warhammer the Old World launched. there's things to talk about. The first, I want to just wax lyrical on how cool Chaos Dragons are. We've seen this image before of Chaos Dragons with 2 heads. There used to be a special character Chaos Dragon.
Yeah, Garak the Chaos Dragon, which was the kind of one that had eaten the Lord of Change, and then before that you had Von Horseman.
That's right.
Von Horseman mentioned
the kind of former College of Magic in the Empire character who was on a 2-headed Tzeentchian dragon. But that's a long time ago. We've never had a plastic version of it. A plastic 2-headed Chaos Dragon has been a long time coming, and I think even though we've waited decades for it, this is worth the wait. This is a really cool model.
Stunning.
It's also what we sometimes call a 2 for kit, in that you can make a different option with it. So you've seen the Chaos Lord. This is a Sorcerer Lord, and there's some differences. The first is the Rider. Obviously, he's now a hunched and wizened Chaos Sorcerer, which is a powerful unit in its own right. It can be up to a level 4 wizard. He's not bad in a fight. He's backed up by a 2-headed Chaos Dragon. Everything you would.
You're not going to kill him with a light cavalry unit.
No, absolutely not. Additionally, there's some slight differences with the dragon itself. You'll notice that this one has sort of different frills and things. So if you wanted 2 dragons, you could have different riders on them, and they would look a bit different. And then with a little bit of sort of paint magic.
Question is, with the terrain in the background, will there be a future repainted set of that too for Old World? I hope so, because that background terrain is classic.
The images that the video team have put together here capture its majesty. It's possibly even better in the flesh, and we have it on the desk here.
It is
so
massive.
You can see it looming over some of these new Chaos Warrior models.
Yeah, one of the things we haven't mentioned as well is just next to the Chaos Dragon, just below it here, whichever one you don't build. So if you build the Chaos Lord on the dragon, you get a Chaos Sorcerer Lord on foot, and if you build the Sorcerer Lord on the dragon, you get a Chaos Lord on foot.
Yes,
so
go back to doing that with kits,
this,
please.
You get basically 2 very powerful.
So this is the Sorcerer Lord that you would get if you build it with the Chaos Lord, and then this is the Chaos Lord on foot if you built it with the Sorcerer. So, crikey. Always worried I'm going to destroy Heavy Metal model live on video.
Do it. No, don't.
Really great kit. You can see all the other things in front of us.
Just the size of it as well. I mean, these are big models, right? The Chaos Knights are not small cavalry models, and this is about 4 times the height of them. So it's a big old beast, and also just phenomenally good in the game as well, right? Like a Chaos Lord on a 2-headed Chaos Dragon is up there. With the very
what a glow up,
in all of Warhammer: The Old World. There's almost nothing.
Exactly, making use of screw is good. I'm glad when they do that with the character on foot.
Of the Chaos Champion on horse, you can see all of this amazing extra detail. He's got like fur under his saddle. He's got like heads hanging from chains. Like the detail on these models is just wild.
Yeah, I think one of the things that's worth calling out actually about these Chaos Warriors particularly is that these are Chaos Warriors designed for Warhammer: The Old World, so they're meant to look like the logical extension.
It's about the size of Eddie's forearm.
Anything
but the metric system, right? How many Eddie's forearms is it?
There's still a little bit of that kind of like barbarian raider vibe to them. They've got the look of someone who's kind of walked out of the Arctic North of the Warhammer world. So that they're
about to ransack the old world.
Absolutely, yeah.
You've got to love it. Right. Obviously, alongside the new core box, people might want to get their hands on some other things that would be useful. So here you can see common magic items and laws of magic. These are cards which enable you to do quick reference as you're playing your game.
37 airmats.
They're not required, obviously, the rules for these things.
Where is the banana for scale?
There's also another thing that we said we would talk about a little bit. This is Battle March, the General's Companion. Now, Battle March is a new way to play games of Warhammer: The Old World. The way this works is that you build smaller forces, not unlike Spearhead or Combat Patrol, between 400 and 700 points, and then you unleash them in games that are quicker to play and more straightforward. There's some rules in this companion which sort of
that sounds good.
How you make your force, so there's some limitations on what you can and can't take, and some
damn it, they suckered me in.
There's different scenarios to play. The rules for Battle March are in the new rulebook, and there's those rules and more information and more scenarios and ways to play.
Small games sounds great.
Battle March General's Companion. So whichever one you want to take as your option you can start playing, I don't know, like lunchtime leagues, or maybe like a campaign across a weekend of like quick turnaround games.
Or if you've just started an army for the first time and you maybe haven't got enough to play a full-size game, you can still play with a smaller force.
Yes. Now, to help you with that, they are releasing the first of our Battle March armies. So this is the Warriors of Chaos and Grand Cathay Battle March armies, and they contain a variety of units deliberately designed to give you a good Battle March experience. And you could totally add these to the new box, and then you have nice big armies if you want to.
Yeah, we were talking about if you add either of these boxes onto your the new sets coming out with the Warriors of Chaos and the Army of Grand Cathay, and then you add something like a monster like a 2-headed dragon,
or a Cathayan dragon,
or a Cathayan dragon. You've pretty much got an army ready to go.
These
are really lovely places to start.
They're obviously realising Combat Patrol Spearhead are the ways people are playing more now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
there's also more coming for the old world. This is the Arcane Journal, The March of Chaos. This continues the narrative that we're seeing unfold in the old world at the moment. The Chainbreaker, this Chaos Lord, is descending from the north with an enormous throng. They're ploughing through the northern provinces of the Empire. Even the forces of Grand Cathay have been called.
What do you reckon?
Volunteered themselves.
Does everybody think they'll play smaller versions of Old World, like this Battle March?
Magic is being fired around everywhere.
Their version of Spearhead,
card
effectively.
deck is for magic ploys, which the winds of magic are blowing so furiously that there's loads of different magic.
That's amazing. We're going to say no. Or what if there'll be the Old World return of mighty empires, tiny scale?
I'm enjoying the narrative they're kind of weaving as well about all these different invasions leading up to.
I know a song about an army from the north.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh, wow, that was good. Deep cut into your Warhammer history. So,
smaller games like that intrigue me more.
It's not quite the old world, but it's very similar. Let's talk about Blood Bowl for a minute.
Blood Bowl!
Blood Bowl is the game of fantasy football, and there is some really exciting things to show with the release of the new Spike Journal. This is Spike Journal 22. Blood Bowl 7s is the theme. What's Blood Bowl 7s? I hear you ask. Well, I'm glad you did.
Oh, yeah, they're focusing more on 7s again?
Blood Bowl 7s is essentially a way of playing Blood Bowl which is akin to like rugby 7s or five-a-side football. So you're compacting your team, you're playing faster games on a smaller pitch. It's very frenetic. It really changes quite a lot of the tactics and the ways that you would play, and makes for a entirely different and very fun experience. You get 4 of your positionals in this game, so you've got quite a lot of skills.
I'm really intrigued by this.
And it's just a lot of fun. Because I'm excited
spoken to a few people who
but
played
I'm even more excited for what we're about to show you, which is some fantastic new Blood Bowl miniatures. The first of which is a new big one available for several teams. This is the Rat Ogre.
I love this model. I think the thing that I most love about it is if you look on his shoulder, he has a little rat with a piece of cheese and a flag on his
little
tail.
cheese rat.
That is beautiful, but is it better or as good as a rat wearing a gas mask and carrying a lump of warp stone?
It's very close, and I think you'll have to make that decision for yourself when you get hold of your own Rat Ogre. I think the cheese takes
build your Rat Ogre without either of those rats, but boo.
I mean, you could if you wanted to not have a rat on his shoulder. Yes, you could do that.
That's a nice rat.
Does anyone want that?
This is also a great model, but if you're not taking one of the rats, I think you've got mad. This is available for a number of teams. Obviously, you can use it in the Skaven team, but also the Underworld Denizens and the Chaos Renegade teams. If you want some real muscle to go in there and just clobber the enemy, break the enemy line, so that your team can run through.
You've got some mutation options in there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of big uns, there's another one on the way. This is a Minotaur.
Or Minotaur.
Yeah, absolutely. This is another one of those iconic, heavy-hitting Blood Bowl units, and it's again available for a variety of Blood Bowl teams.
Oh, variety of teams.
You can use it in the Chaos Chosen, you can use it in the Chaos Dwarf list, you can use it in the Chaos Renegade teams. And here you can see the different ways you can build it to fit more in with the teams that you're used to using.
Yeah, so this one here on the screen at the moment, rather than hands or even hooves, has got kind of scorpion claws.
Why catch the ball, right?
Yeah, he's not going to do much catching, but he might do even better clobbering than a regular Minotaur.
Yeah, no kidding. Now, those are wonderful. The thing I'm most excited about, not just for this Blood Bowl reveal, but maybe in all of Blood Bowl, is our next reveal.
He is your favourite, Adam.
Morgenthau is my favourite thing
Morgenthau
about
has
Blood
returned!
Bowl. I absolutely love him. He's been an iconic character.
He was mentioned in the questions at the start.
There is a new multi-part plastic Morgenthau model coming, and he is wonderful.
Okay,
The
so
kit
3 new star player
is
sort of
one
characters.
3 very
That I
iconic
guess
designs.
are
He
probably
like
also
the Weavers
compatible
one,
in 7s by the sounds of it.
Really sort of connects to that iconic artwork
Hey,
that you're
Verity.
used to seeing with Morg. Here is another version. This is him in his gouged eye motif when he played for an Orc team, and you can see like the Orc charms and things around his neck.
Dang, my
This
wallet's
is,
going to
from
hurt all
Chaos
Central Road
All-Stars when he played with that team. That was his first ever team. You see, he's still got hair.
You can see he's also got each of the Chaos Gods icons on his little chain around his neck as well, which is really cool.
Absolutely love it. If you are unfamiliar with Blood Bowl or Morg in particular, let me just tell you, he is genuinely one of the best.
Adam, can you take him in a halfling team?
You can, and I have used him to lead my halflings to almost glory a number of times. I love him. He's so good. He hits like a freight train. He's really heavily armored. He's got great skills, mighty blow, loads of armor, everything you could possibly want, and he costs a load of points. So halflings are really cheap. So
can he throw halflings?
Wait, I just realised they said this is going to be 90 minutes. We're almost an hour in, and we've done 3 things. three of the stuff on it. Okay.
It's coming soon. I'm very excited. Please let me have one.
Oh, they look great. Yeah, I'm with you on that, Saviour. I want to whack them into my
These are the beautiful heavy metal painted Morg models, and here you can see what they look like. So going sort of from this side onwards, this is Morg. Were you to build him in that sort of gouged eye look, and you see his armor looks like these sort of armor.
Nice
that,
models.
sort of,
The Blood Bowl models,
Hawk
star players,
different
always really
armor,
nice.
different heads,
They look
different
great.
chest plates. You've got a bunch of different options.
Yeah, and then this is more with the Reichland Reavers
There's 9 spinners
uniform,
for each
and
brand,
then,
right?
I think the first
Yeah, the
edition
way
of
under.
the
What's
Blood
going
Bowl
on?
was the
A
second.
number of them, really. I think he's appeared on a couple of covers. And then if you wanted to do him as Chaos All Stars, you'd use this one. But ultimately, build your Morg how you want and just go and clobber the enemy and score some touchdowns.
There you go.
We have the other models on the table as well. You can see the Minotaur, a Rat Ogre, and then another Minotaur. These are all hulking
him so you
models.
get a really
They
good
tower
shot
above
of
the
that.
average lineman.
They look great.
Yeah,
I like
it's the
the
real
rat
style.
with a piece of cheese.
Perfect.
I feel I just want the
so
little
there
rat
we go.
piece of
A
cheese.
good time for Blood Bowl. 3 amazing new big characters coming your way.
I have not
And you
played
want to play
Sevens.
Blood Bowl
I've
in the
heard
New Spike
mixed
Journal.
reviews
I'm
of it.
very
There's
excited
people,
about
it's very
this.
Marmite. People
And
love
we
it,
are
or they
nowhere
just want to
near
play normal
done
Blood
with
Bowl.
this preview.
Let's keep going.
Right. Why don't we go to the Age of Darkness?
Horus Heresy! Let's go! Give me the Telemon. There's my boy! Let's go!
Well, welcome back. We're really excited to talk now about the Adeptus Custodes or Legio Custodes.
Well,
Which one is it, Eddie?
It's both, Adam, because
Perfect.
the new box set that's on its way is a reinforcement set for the Custodes.
Let's
And you
go!
can use it for either Warhammer the Horus Heresy or Warhammer.
I need to make more
40,000
marble
for just
bases,
because you didn't believe
yes.
us. We put the logos on the box.
It couldn't
so
be clearer,
there's
could it?
no confusion. You can absolutely use this for either game system.
And it
There
has
are
both on
6
it.
models in this box, which doesn't sound like a lot, but
Until
when
you realise how big they
until you
are.
look at the models, which are huge and awesome. So let's start
So you get
with
4
the
bikes.
fastest unit in that box.
Yeah, these are the Gerfalcon jet bikes, an iconic unit from the
I'm
Legio
hyped.
Custodes force. They are fast-moving, hard-hitting, heavily armed and armoured units, which are designed to storm in and break the back of enemy forces. Each custodian is armed like to the teeth. There's loads
They're
of things to
really
talk
nice
about here.
bikes, actually.
The
I like
first
the
thing
fact
would
that the
be to
lance
mention
is
that
kind of
there's
down by the
different
side so they
guns
can
that
grab it
come
when they
on
need
these
to.
models. Essentially, you have a choice of the Adrathic Devastator Arachnus volley gun.
Yeah,
twin
the console
four-gauge
blades on those are
pulse
really
laser. That's
nice.
the over and under one. You can see it looks a bit like an over and under shotgun. And then you also have the Lastrum bolt cannon. So loads of different
weapons on there
to
as
do
well.
loads of different jobs.
Yeah. So one of the things in a Custodes army, obviously, is you haven't got a lot of units because they tend to cost a lot of points. So you might find that you've got a couple of things that your army's not very good at killing. And one of the things that units like this can do with loads of different options is you go, actually, I really need some help to kill monsters or infantry or something. So you can kit
I like
these out
this.
with
I like this.
almost a gun for almost any occasion, right?
Absolutely.
You can have different
saw
guns
the
across the
people
unit,
gifting them
or
to
you
Henry,
can
I
actually
saw
go, I
that.
just want them all to be really good at killing vehicles, give them the best thing for killing the specific vehicle, I think. That
Can
I'm
they give them to
gifting.
me?
Yeah, all of them also have a Solarite Power Lance, which is a formidable power weapon.
It is
especially on the charge.
enormous. The Solarite Lance, it's about 3 times the length of a Space Marine.
Yeah,
I
it's
reckon you could
huge.
kebab about 5 Chaos Space Marines on that thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's 4 of these inside.
How
the
many
set,
Space
which is a
Marines can we
brilliant
kebab?
Unit to go spearheading around the battlefield and just bring pain to the enemy.
I'm
Not
hyped.
the only
hyped.
thing that moves fast in this box. We also have the Palace Gravatack.
The Palace Gravatack is a fast-moving skimmer for the Custodes. You can kit it out with either anti-infantry or anti-vehicle stuff. It works a little bit like a land speed is probably the way to think about it,
Exactly.
and it's
For
very
Custodes.
useful for Custodes because you tend to have a lot of very expensive models, so you don't have very many small units. So this can zip around the battlefield, taking objectives, getting
all I
the
can
enemy
see
where they're
when
hiding
seeing
in a
this
way
is,
that
now
your
this
infantry
is pod
is
racing,
very
is
good
the
at putting
person
ground, but
inside.
not very good at kind of chasing stuff down.
Yeah, and this is another one of those units you can use to sort of cater for where you think you might need additional strength. Has 2 weapons to choose from: the twin Arachnus Blaze Cannon or the twin Iliastus Accelerator Fusil.
Good
So
good
those
weapon
in a hurry.
choices on there.
So you can tailor your
Sebova mentioned.
But I think the showstopper of this box is undoubtedly
Yes.
the Telemon Dreadnought. This is a brand new multi-part plastic kit, a reinvention of the resin
had some
version, of the already
upgrades.
very nice resin version of the Telemon Dreadnought, but in glorious multi-part plastic, keeping all the posability with even more detail and even more weapon options.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
speaking
nice.
of weapon options, I'll walk you through them.
a
Between its
lot.
shoulder blades, you can see the Spiculus missile launcher, but there are other weapon options too. Here you can see the Iliastus Accelerator Culverin, the Adrathic Devastator, and the Arachnus Storm Cannon. On his other hand, so you can build
Eradicators.
those as you will, choose the one that suits your loadout. On the other hand, you have the Kestus, that's essentially fancy Legio Custodes terms for Power Fist, with twin neutronium cascade projector. So it's a bit like a flamethrower, but with neutroniums.
Absolutely. Neutronium's more deadly than flamethrower.
I must Gungan that dreadnought.
One of those guns is, of course, new. The one that's currently equipped. For the name
yes, the new weapon option.
Oh, I think you are talking about the Iliastus accelerator
Oh,
code.
yeah, exactly that one. And this is a really beautiful kit, right? So you could paint this up very quickly if you wanted to, like
the Iliastus accelerator
code
is
beautiful.
I had
but equally, if you wanted to take your time over all the detail of this, it is absolutely dripping in detail, more detail even than was on some of those resin versions of this when it came out.
It is more
we
detailed.
have one on the table, and we brought along some other dreadnoughts, so you could sort of see how it scales up.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. This Telemon dreadnought is ever so slightly larger than the resin one. So we brought a Leviathan dreadnought.
Do you remember when you saw a Leviathan for the first time and thought, you're never going to think
nothing could ever be cooler than a Leviathan dreadnought? And he's still pretty cool. I like it.
I'm hyped because that means that one of my 412 dreadnoughts and stuff I have, I can now just put them into the game and play. That makes me very happy.
Even the Leviathan.
And with last summer's release, lots of people may have got their hands on a Saturnine dreadnought, and here you can see there's some similarity between these two in terms of the shape of the shoulder pads and things. The Telemon.
Wait, isn't the Telemon the dread that slowly eats the pilot because it takes so much power?
Saturnine is a little bit broader.
I don't think
yeah, absolutely. So this one definitely is got more mass to it. Like the weight of it looks looks heavy. But the Telemon stands ever so slightly taller, which might just mean that the Custodies didn't want to kind of ever look up at a Space Marine. I think that's probably the point, isn't it?
Yeah, why not? Yeah. I like it. So all of these models that we've talked about, so the Gerfalcon jet bikes, the Pallas Gravitac, and the Telemon Dreadnought will be available in plastic for the first time as part of this box set, and then available separately later down the line.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you can use them, definitely use them for both Warhammer 40,000 and
This
Warhammer
makes me
40,000.
very hopeful
one
for
of the new
Custodes
attachments
Codex.
for the Custodies in Warhammer 40,000 has some specific upgrades for Telemon Dreadnoughts as well. So there is.
Great, nice.
Okay,
so
I'm hyped.
That's
Very
about everything
hyped.
for the Age of Darkness. We also have a new Journal Tactica on the way. This is Journal Tactica Prospero Burns, the Judgment of Valdor, and this deals with the actions of Constantine Valdor and the Legio Custodes during the burning of Prospero when they joined forces with the Space Wolves to bring judgment to Magnus and his errant sons.
Yeah, we know quite a lot about the burning of Prospero. We've seen it from the Thousand Suns perspective. We've seen it from the Space Wolves perspective. We know that the Custodes were there, but we haven't really heard much about what the Custodes were up to, and this explores that. You kind of find out what they were doing while the two legions were taking chunks out of each other. One of the things that's quite cool about it is that the Custodes obviously on one side. On the other side, there are some Thousand Suns, but the main antagonist really for them is a demonic foe.
Yeah, absolutely. For the first time, this presents for this edition a full army list for the Demons of Siege, including new psychic disciplines. So you can start
Heresy
using,
Demons.
The
you can run
Warp
Demons of
denizens
Siege
the
and Heresy.
patron,
Interesting.
Who is presiding over the ruins.
Because there was always Demons of the Ruin Storm, but for the first time
Or
they just said
Salvation.
that there's an army list of Demons of Siege and Heresy.
There's even more stuff in there than we've talked about here. There's some new rules for the Solar Auxilia. There's a whole bunch of stuff. This is a packed Journal Tactica, which really shines a light on an area of the Horus Heresy we've not looked at.
This is
before.
really
I
cool.
think it's the best kind of Horus Heresy games, ones where you're going back to those iconic moments in the lore and refighting it. Like, what if it was a little bit different? What if we had a slightly different mix? What if it's
Interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Recreating those amazing
Hey,
stories.
Shrimp, how you doing?
So, sticking with the Age of Darkness, but going a bit smaller as we look at some Legions Imperialis.
Or possibly bigger.
But yes, bigger and smaller at the same time. We have 3 models we're going to talk about now. These are models for the Titan Legions. This is the Warlord Battle Titan with Quake Cannon and Conversion Beam Extirpator. To extirpate means to destroy utterly. And that is what the weapon loadout on this
Tiny-ish
Warlord Titan
Titans.
will do. As you see this video playing before you can see what all the different weapons are. There's a whole bunch, and they have really long and difficult to say live on air names, such as
But
the
you should still try, I think.
Extirpator. So this is a kit which will come packaged all
Big
together.
old
So you
Titan.
get the Warlord Titan and all of these weapons. It includes some extra bits and pieces, so there's some guns to go on the turrets. You've got Gatling blasters and turbo laser destructors. You have 2 Warlord heads.
But
inside the kit,
£100 is
and
the
it also
size of a
contains all the
regular.
cards you would
They
need
normally
to
are.
use this if you were playing
The
Adeptus Titanic.
Warlord Titan.
If you
what is
just
this?
want the weapons, they'll be
It's
available
not
separately.
quite the size of a knight, but it is large.
Cool. This is one of 3 things we're going to talk about. The next one is the Warlord Battle Titan with Volkite Destructor and Macro Gatling Blaster. Again, not a thing to say too quickly on a Friday night.
Okay, so
here is another towering
2 Titans,
God engine.
2 Warlord variants. I've got a Warlord somewhere. They're
a whole bunch
they're
of different
big, but they're not like
the
the one that's the same as the Titan is the War Master Titan. The War Master Battle Titan is the same as a Knight.
Volkite Destructor, Macro Gatling Blaster, and the
40K.
Mega Bolter Array, which sits on its shoulders. It also includes a Warlord Titan heads and those cards I mentioned before. If you wanted to play Adeptus Titanicus.
But Adam, what if I had a slightly smaller Titan but still wanted loads of massive guns?
And complicated names, then you are going to be fine, because this is the Titan Legion's Reaver Titan with Graviton Obliterator and
okay, so it's just upgrades for some Titans, and they can be played in Adeptus Titanicus
an
as
incredible
well.
punch with weapons such as the aforementioned
It's a nice little update, you know what?
The Volkite
It's fair.
Annihilator. It also has a Vulcan Mega Bolter.
We had 1 Titan, yes, but what about a second
and
Titan?
You just saw it there.
Technically, it's
My
3
favourite, possibly, of all
Titans.
the names we've had this evening, which is the Conversion Beam Dissolutor.
Those are some cool guns and some great verbs.
Yeah, it also has a Reaver head and the cards you would need to play in Adeptus Titanicus. And you can get the weapon separately should you desire no more Titans. What's wrong with you? There we go.
The weapons will be available separate as well. That's good.
Absolutely.
There we go. I need to take a breather. Now might be the time to talk a little bit about something coming to Warhammer Plus very soon. There is a new animation. Look at the Butcher's Nails.
Well, that squeaking was owie.
That looks a bit good, Eddie. What can you tell us about Butcher's Nails?
Yeah, this is a new animation coming to Warhammer TV for Warhammer Plus subscribers. It is a one-off standalone episode, so it's a Hammer and Bolter episode of Warhammer 40,000.
Okay.
And effectively, it tells the story of a Khorne Berserker who is part of a chaos assault on an Imperial stronghold. As you would imagine for a World Eater story, it is incredibly violent. It is by some margin the bloodiest and most violent piece of Warhammer animation we have yet featured on Warhammer TV, and it is pretty much non-stop carnage from the moment
I like the inside the helmet
shops
view.
open
It's
to the
quite
final
fun.
battles.
Fantastic. Here you can see a shot that we saw something like this in the trailer. This looks like the head-up display inside the helmet of the World Eater.
Yeah, so not all of it, but some of the animation is shown from the literal perspective
really
of
cool.
the World Eater, who is obviously a little bit unhinged. The Butcher's nails are starting to bite. If he doesn't get continuous kills and carnage, he starts to go kind of slowly insane. And he basically is chopping his way through as many enemies as he can find, partly to try and achieve victory, but mostly just to try and make the whining
It looks
of
like
the
an
nails
Imperial Fist.
cease even for the briefest of moments.
Fantastic. And we got a sense of who is fighting, but what's the battle between?
I mean, he almost really he doesn't really mind what the battle is. Really, Khorne doesn't care as long as the blood flows. There are definitely some Astra Militarum. There's some guardsmen, some unfortunate guardsmen who have to stand up against the Khorne Berserker. There are some Space Marines of the Imperial Fist. There's some other Chaos Space Marines in the mix.
Who I'm sure
as well.
they'll
get on fine. I'm sure.
As angry as you're trying to get tickets for the next foot again.
But yes, it's going to be a non-stop action carnage fest. It's a really fun animation.
Perfect. And coming out fairly soon.
It comes out in August.
Awesome. That's very exciting. Cool. So, from the Butcher's Nails and Warhammer Plus, let's go to the mortal realms for something more.
Age of Sigmar!
The maw opens. Hungering predator. Sun Eater. The gulping god. I see his will in the meat, in the marrow, in the blood. He is the hunger that endures through winter and war. He calls us to feast, to swallow the realms. Eat, eat, eat. First we're gonna beat 'em, then we're gonna eat 'em. First we're gonna beat 'em, then we're gonna eat 'em. First we're gonna beat 'em, then we're gonna eat 'em. First we're gonna beat 'em, then we're gonna eat 'em.
Ooh.
His champion comes.
That was very exciting.
What was the big thing?
A large amount of models coming soon.
Belly's gonna get you. What a throwback.
Eddie, where do we even start?
I am super excited about this release. This is an enormous range refresh for the Ogre Moor tribes. There's so
Fair
much to
play.
talk about.
Everyone
I
who
think let's
guessed it, you
start with
smashed
the
it.
army set, which is coming out. This is the first place you'll get a chance to get your hands on some of the new miniatures. This is an enormous army launch set, a little bit like what we've seen with some of the armies recently.
Yeah, like the Hellsmiths and so on.
Exactly like the Hellsmiths. Same
They're
sort of concept.
very,
You get
very,
a
very
cool
cool.
version of the Battle Tome and the first chance to get hold of a bunch of the
they're very
miniatures.
cool.
Let's have a quick chat about some of the stuff in this set.
Sure. So first out the gates would be sort of the mainstay unit for the Ogre Moor tribes. These are the Gluttons, the sort of replacement or refresh of what in old days you might have called Ogre Bulls. And boy, do they look good.
Yeah, the Ogre Bulls are still really cool models, like,
Yeah,
but they are they've been around for a while now. They're more than 20 years old.
You shocked me with
Yeah,
that
I'm
when
sorry
I realised
about
how
that,
old
Adam.
I was. Yeah.
So they are well and truly
I didn't realize they were
deserving
20
of a
years old.
refresh. This is a
Suppose it
really
makes
cool
sense.
update for them. They still keep the kind of general aesthetic of the Ogre Bulls, but they're much more dynamic. They're a little bit bigger. The armor plates are much more impressive.
I really like the shape of the helmets. They look like they're designed to deflect sort of downward
yeah,
blows
and
away
if
from
you
the
remember, like
shoulders as well.
the first time those models came out, they were designed for Warhammer Fantasy. where you
Nope,
have to
nope,
rank
don't
up,
like
so
that. They're what the older
poses
ones
were
are
quite
over
limited
20
in
years
those
old.
dimensions.
Dynamic here, aren't they?
These are much like cooler, more impressive poses. Even things like having those arms out, they just look really great. The detail on them is obviously 20 years on.
How
from
long
the
till they
last
get
time we
kit
saw,
bashed into
the Ogre Bulls. So these
Ogrins
are
and
really, really
Bullygrins
cool,
for
miniatures. You
Astra
get 10
Minotaur?
of these in that launch box. This is only the most basic of the Ogre Moor tribes units.
Fantastic.
Let's move on to I think might be one of my favourites.
Ooh,
Yeah,
they're
so
cool.
mine too. I think the Iron Guts have always looked really cool, and these are even cooler if possible. The Iron Guts
they've
are
got the
an
red
elite
hand.
ogre unit. They carry
That's cool.
enormous weapons, and they wear more armor. So you can see those armor plates on the arms going all the way up to the shoulders. Their helmets are a little bit fancier, and they've got these massive two-handed weapons.
They look like they mean
That's such a
absolute
cool
business.
weapon.
Like the size of those weapons, and again, much more dynamic. But those blades are about twice the size of a mortal human, right? So
I
they're
want to
gonna
put
make an
one of those
absolute mess.
weapons
They already are an
on a
excellent unit. in Warhammer
Terminator.
Age of Sigmar. They're still an excellent unit,
That'd
and
be
now the
cool.
miniatures are even better.
Yeah, absolutely. To keep this rabble in line, you need an Ogre Tyrant. So this model is a multi-part kit. He enables you to build him in a couple of ways. Essentially, a really powerful, heavy-hitting Ogre character. Here you can see a couple of the options. I love this one with the fur cloak. It sort of fits into
These are really nice.
the
because we haven't had
more
much
sort
for
of
ogres apart from
hunter-y
character
style
models
thing
for a
you
long
can do with
time.
an
So
ogre army
I'm
where
glad
you
they're
wanna
getting some
focus more
love.
on the beast if you want to, or you can go full Gutbuster with this one, whichever you prefer, really.
Yeah, if you've got the kind of Beast Claw Raider
Yeah,
vibe.
absolutely.
And I think you can obviously have a mix of them as well, but you've got a lot of different ways to kind of lean into different ogre armies, and it's just nice to have a multi-part character, right, where you can
Ooh, I got a
immediately
wild
start to
idea.
make him your own. One of the big things about
Could you kit
ogres
bash
for
them
their
with
entire
orcs?
history is the idea of like big names, right? They carry that through
Yeah.
into this this battle tome as well.
There's certainly a
where
Japanese
the leader of your
samurai
force is making
sumo
a-
feel to
literally
them. I
making
can
a
get
name
that.
for
I can get
himself
that
by
vibe.
achieving various feats. So being able to kind of have the pelts of the things he's defeated on him absolutely makes sense. Those units we've all seen before in different ways. The next unit is effectively a new type. These are the Maul Beast Cavalry and the Maul Beast Raiders. This is a 2-for kit, so you can make 2 different units. They function in a similar way. Both of them are cavalry units. The Maul Beast
I like the
Raiders are
mounts.
your kind of fast-moving scout unit. The Maul Beast Cavalry are your hard-hitting shock cavalry. They're a little bit more armored. The guy in the back has more weapons, whereas the Maul Beast Raiders have some ranged attacks.
Wait, so it
So
seems
these
like the big
effectively
thing that they
replace the
previewed
Mornfang
is just a big one of
cavalry
those by the
in
sounds of
your
it.
ogre list. They fulfill a similar sort of role in the army.
Yeah, and we'll talk a little bit more about just how tough they are and how hard they hit in a little while. So these are all the models that come inside that new Ogre army set. Obviously, you need the Battle Tome and
That's
the War
nice.
Scroll cards as well. This is the Battle Tome that comes for the Ogre Moor tribes inside that set. It's got this lovely sort of finish to it. You can see the Tyrant on the front. Obviously, there'll be standard editions of the Battle Tome out in due time.
Was that a
You'll be able to
goose
get
on
models
the
separately.
shoulder of
But
the
if you want
rider?
First in
Maybe.
on the new Ogres.
Just that
this is
honk.
the way. It wasn't all we saw in that awesome video, though. Do you want to show the box?
Yeah,
It's
I've got
pretty
the
cool.
box right here. So this is the box. It's really lovely. That is all the stuff you get in there. So just to confirm, you get 10 of those gluttons. You get the tyrant. You get 2 of the cavalry, and you get that big unit of iron guts, and then
that's
you
cool.
get your battle tome in there as well. So it's a really lovely set.
Fantastic. Right. So, what else is there to talk about? Well, I guess we saw some things which fit in a different sort of part of the Ogre army with the
different
sort
things.
of more
The butcher model that reminds me of the
Yeah, so
the butcher
one
from
of the
the
bits of
as
the
the
ogre
first
force
boss you
is
fight
the
in
kind of
Diablo
tyrant
1.
and the iron guts and things like that. But another fairly major part of ogre society are the Maw Seekers, the butchers, and the things that follow in the butcher's
That's
wake.
cool.
The butcher again is a model that's been out for a very long time, well worth an update. this model is a phenomenally cool
He's
upgrade.
also deeply disturbing.
Yeah, you've got some strong feelings on exactly how
They've never
how
been an army that
unpleasant
has
the
massively
model is. The
appealed
model's
to me,
great,
but
he's
I
definitely a
really
big brain
appreciate
And the
these
longer you
sculpts
look,
are
the more
really
disturbing
cool.
it gets. The way he's holding the corpse in his hand,
Like,
the gore
making me
sloshing
think of
around
what
in his
can I do
cauldron,
with them?
and all this for what is essentially a really beefy ogre wizard.
Yeah, butchers are sort of part wizard, part chef, part shaman, part mystic to the ogres. They're really important to ogre society. Ogre society basically is all about eating. All ogres at their core have this kind of unending hunger, which they interpret as the will of the god Mor, who may or may
I've got
not
some
be
fun
part of the
ideas
greater
for that.
pantheon of Gork and Mork, depending
Yeah,
on which
I'm with
ogre
you, Shrimp.
speak to.
Nurglifying it is where I'm leaning.
Butchers try to tap into that arcane power, that kind of godly power, and manifest it as various different spells. A lot of their magic is to do with consuming something and then manifesting that into magic in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I've got a fun idea
There
for
are
this.
more devotees of the Gulping God
like a Nurgle
coming.
Demon Prince.
This is one of those kits. These are the ogre cleavers, and they are kind of like butchers
write
in
that down
training.
before I forget.
Right?
Yeah, these are fanatics of ogre society who follow in the wake of the butchers. They do a range of different things. After a battle, they'll collect up all the various body parts and offal and bits of enemies to throw into the cauldron for the butcher. They are kind of fanatically driven disciples of the butchers and of the god Mor.
The combination of the miniatures
That
design
butcher's
team
really
and the
cool.
heavy metal painting team
I've got a
have
really fun
just
idea
worked
to do
up a
something with
horror
that.
these.
Yeah,
They
I
are
mean,
so
Blood for
good.
the Blood God is
absolutely
crying out for
gore,
these miniatures,
gore
isn't
up
it?
to the elbows, cauldrons full of offal. These
Just
are
writing down my
incredible.
ideas for kit
They're not
bashes.
the only things within this Mor Seeker collective. That kit also makes another option. So you can either make the cleavers that you saw there, or you can make these, which are the Gutseers.
Yeah, Gutseers are even more horrible and sinister than the butchers, if you can imagine that. These have tapped into the power of Mor, and the way that they work in game is that your wizards become more powerful and can effectively cast spells through these guys when they're nearby. The thing that
I don't
really
know
like about
why,
them from a miniature
but
perspective
the
is those
hoods
gut
on
plates.
these have
If you
made me
look at
just
the
go,
gut
the
plates on
great are
something like
good.
Iron guts,
The
they
great are
have just
good.
armored guts, whereas
Yeah,
these
they look like teeth, mate.
No, it's like
these guts
executioner
look
hoods.
like intestines.
That's
or
the
offal
vibe
or-
it's
and
giving
they're
me.
nuts,
rendered in
basically.
really like arcane powers.
I love it. I think it's really. They look like they'd be loads of fun to paint.
Yep. And then, of course, at the centre of all of this is Red the Mor. This is the High Slaughtermaster, so sort of like the head of this cult of the Gulping God. Eddie, what can you tell us
Eddie.
about Red?
This is a brand new character for the Ogre Mor tribes. This is one of the most powerful characters in your Ogre army. One of the most powerful characters in all of Age of Sigmar. Goes to battle on this enormous kind of cauldron construct that's pulled into battle by a Gorger. Gorgers are the other part of that kind of Mor Seeker grouping. So Mor Seekers covers your butchers, your Gorgers, and all the kind of various fanatics that follow in their wake. You've got this enormous cauldron, which I assume is where the enemy army goes after the battle. They get thrown in there.
So
And this
grim.
is both an
I love
incredible
it.
miniature, but also an incredibly powerful piece for your Age of Sigmar
Your
army. So
wizards
we'll have a little
become
look at some of the
more
rules
powerful.
around it later.
No,
and
great,
in
the good.
lore terms, this is the high prophet, the high priest of the Gulping God. So ogres from across the
This is
realms
very cool.
flock to Red the Mor to hear what they've got to say.
I love the fact it's been pulled into battle by a Gorger as well. That's just really cool. So all of these models are coming in the not too distant future for the
Considering
Ogre
the
Mor
size of the
tribes.
base, it's not as
obviously,
big
you
as
need
I
a
thought it
battle-
was looking at it on the
battle
table.
to learn all about it, and so there will be the standard edition on the left or the gamers edition on the right to let you get what you need to start playing your games.
Yeah, so I mean, this is a huge and sizable update of things for the Ogre Mor tribes. We've shown you almost all of the new models
But not
for the
all.
ogres. There's a couple more things on the way. The other thing that's worth saying is a couple of the existing units do stick around as well. So particularly some of the big Beastclaw Raider monsters. So if you've got some things like Stonehorns and stuff in your army, you can still absolutely use those, and they work really nicely alongside that Tyrant, which we have one on the table here done up as a.
It's got that beast claw.
Yeah, got the kind of
vibe,
beast
Oh,
claw
that's
vibe.
cool.
There with I'll turn him around
Yeah,
so you can see the
that
kind of
Mor
pelt
priest
on
guy,
the back.
that base is massive, but it's not got the height. It's
Should we
just
have a
got
little
the
bit of a look
presence,
at
which
some
is
of the
quite cool.
rules
Yeah,
and
let's do
things
it.
And what you'll find inside the battle tome. So these are the faction rules, the battle traits for your ogres. What can you tell us, Eddie?
Whoa.
Yeah, so we're not going to go through the entirety because there's a big old page of
Screen
rules
grab
there.
if
But
you really
yeah,
wanna
if you're an
know.
ogre player or you want to know what you're going to be up against in Age of Sigmar, take your screens grab now. Fundamentally, they've got two big army special rules. The first of the army rules is if you are in combat with an enemy unit at the end of the turn, or you've defeated an enemy unit in combat,
Try to
so
read
you've
through
defeated
this.
them basically, you can just have some lunch. You can
Have a
take a chunk out of the enemy unit you're
that's
you're
cool.
fighting, and you can get a bunch of different rules. So this encourages your ogre army to just get stuck in. If they're in the middle of the enemy army, they can start getting bonuses. There's some really strong stuff in there. You've got stuff like run and charge. You can make the unit harder to kill, make them hit harder. You can mess with enemy wizards, all sorts of stuff.
Fantastic. Go on.
And then you've got the other special rule
So you
in
get
there,
to do
which is
D3 mortal
basically
wounds
like
to
a
a
special thing
target.
where when you charge into an enemy unit,
And then pick one of the
you
ones
can
below.
basically say, would you like to stay where you are and take the ogre's charge, in which case you take a bunch of mortal wounds, or you can say, well, I'll give you the opportunity to move backwards if you like, in which case your opponent immediately cedes ground to your ogres. So it's really good for shifting
Just
units off
read your
objectives.
comment.
Yeah, absolutely. And getting hit by that wall of
Xavier,
iron must have been no joke.
my.
Obviously, the war
Of course,
scrolls
the
have
secret
been,
with the Red Moor
looked
is
at
that
as
they're
well.
really
So
a
these are the
vegetarian.
Maurice cavalry that we showed you before. They come in the army set.
Just loads of
and I
seitan
talked
and
about how
tempeh,
just
and they're just
devastatingly
making it all
powerful
out
they
of
are.
like
The
flour
gut by
and
2
tofu
weapons do
skin.
damage 3. The maul beasts do damage 2, 3 on the charge. These hit you like
10-inch
a
move on
landslide.
those is
So
good.
many
That's
attacks,
nice.
incredibly dangerous.
I think this is a really powerful unit. If you're familiar with the way that ogres work today, you'll know how Mournfang cavalry work. You'll be familiar with the stats. A lot of the stats are fairly similar to Mournfangs, but across the board, wherever there's a change, it tends to be a bit better. For the Maulbeast cavalry, they are a really tough unit to deal with because they're excellent
Shock
on the
and
charge,
gore,
so
love it.
bonuses to charge, but they're also excellent when being charged. So they're a really
You've got the
hard unit to
counter-attack
kind
as a
of solve
passive.
for your enemy. I think just a couple of these on the flanks would do great, or even investing on a big double-sized unit and slamming it into the middle of the enemy army could be very powerful.
Yeah, and you can see some of the special rules and things that are going on there, but I love the Ravenous counterattack rule. That means that you can be.
This is
quite
really
daring
nice. It's
with
nice
it.
to see an
Sort
army
of
getting
like scouting units
not
and
like
things.
it's not an
Brilliant.
overhaul per
We
se.
talked
It's
a
just
little
a
bit about Read the More.
modernisation. and an
Here is
update.
rules. There is a lot to take in.
Whoa, there's a lot.
This
of
is
rules.
one of the kind of big name special characters of the
18
ogres as well. We're
health,
not going to go through everything on the sheet.
4 up
Feel free to
save,
take a screenshot and
much
peruse at
control.
your leisure. The things to call out are this is an incredibly durable character. 18 wounds, a 4 up save, and a ward save means that you've got to throw
a lot,
you've got to throw a lot of
Yeah, it's
stuff
got
at
a
this guy
passive
before he
ward
goes down.
save.
A level 2 wizard, that's always going to be useful. The thing to really shout
Wow,
out is that
and he gives
command
a
ability
6-up ward
where
save.
effectively you can pick an ogre unit
or a
nearby,
5-up ward save.
and that unit can benefit from as if it was in combat with an enemy unit. So all of those big list of buffs that you've got in your army special rules, you can just give those out to units nearby for a command point, and you can do some great stuff with that. You've got one of them in there which is run and charge, so right from the off you can be like, I really want one of my units in combat on the first turn, you can just do it. You've also got an ability that gives ward saves to loads of nearby units, so this is just an absolutely
Because it's like the base
really
is like
useful
it's like
linchpin
160
unit
mil
for the
base
middle
or
of your
something.
army.
That's a massive
There's
base.
a lot of great stuff coming all on the way for.
It's just
Mortal
not tall,
Realms
is it? It's,
with the
it's,
Ogre
it's,
Maul
almost
tribes and
bordering on
incredible
Cog
range
Force.
of
Out
refresh.
there.
We've got
It's
some
massive.
close-ups here.
Should we have a look?
Just
Like
a sense
Cabbage
of
Dragon
how big,
base size, I
how
reckon?
big they are. I don't know if we got a human for scale. He seemed to have wandered up. Maybe they ate him when we weren't looking.
So here you've got Red the Moor in the middle. You can see the size of him. He's really an absolute beefcake. And this enormous cauldron that he's got that's just full of offal. His great big spoon for stirring around the cauldron. Here on the side you can see the Ogre Butcher. He's really quite an impressive model in his own right.
Oh, that butcher is
Again,
stunning.
this huge cauldron
Yeah,
that
okay,
can spin
okay. I
around.
have a
You
vision
can
of
just
what I
tell
want to
how
do with the butcher.
detailed these models
I need to get
really
one hold
are.
of one of those when it comes out. I have ideas.
Something to behold. Loads of things
Guys, I
going on
need
the
you
back.
to do
Sort of
and
these,
you
animal
need
horns
something
and
big
things
to
so
take
that
it.
they're
A
carrying
cog form,
trophies and things all
perhaps.
around. Just really great.
You mean turn that into
it's
a
an
cog
incredible
fort?
looking kit.
Yeah.
I think the
You get a
miniatures
sense
team
of
have.
the size of
Or
it, 'cause
cog
that's
fort
a
into
human,
that.
right? That he's holding.
Or taking
on the
both
butcher.
of
Yeah, no
So-
kidding. He's got half a person.
Yeah, you got half a person there.
It's pretty gross. So anyway, these have disturbed me for long enough. I'm really excited to see them come out. I think they're going to make quite a wave within the Mortal Realms. We are still
more
not done yet.
forts.
There is
Do
still
it,
more
do it,
awesome
do it,
stuff
do
to
it,
talk
do
about
it.
in this big
Yes.
summer preview. Next, we're going down to the Underhive.
Necromunda. New star box. Some new gangs. New core set, nice. I'm very intrigued by that board. That looks very interesting.
Welcome back and welcome to the Underhive with a new edition of Necromunda Skirmish. This is very exciting. I'm a big fan of
Necromunda
Necromunda. I've played it
Skirmish.
since I was a 16-year-old boy, and it's great to see a new edition come. This is essentially an edition reset for Necromunda, and this core set here that you can see here, this 2-player battle box, is the perfect way to get into it. If you're an existing Necromunda player, we'll talk about some of the other ways too. Here you can see it on the screen. It pitches the Orlok. Sorry, crikey! You can see me going to my
What edition
favourite
is
gang
this?
just
Oh.
automatically. It pitches the Goliaths against the Escher.
Wait,
in a
edition
classic
reset?
house
Wait, I'm
matchup.
so lost.
Let's
Wait,
have
what?
a look at some of the.
Tell me what's
kits
going
that
on
come with
here.
it. We've got a box here which we can use as a
I've only
prop.
just figured
We've
out
got
how to
some
play.
great images to show on the screen. It contains 2 gangs within the box. The first of which are these. They are the Blades of the Matriarch. This is all new models. We've not released these ones before, and there's some fantastic options in there. At the back,
Nice
for example,
models.
you can see
They're
a huntress
really
with
nice
auto
sculpts.
pistols and multi-harness. On the right-hand side, you've got one which is a Blade Maiden with a shock whip. You've got the Chem Witch, who's got the auto chem. It's that crazy-looking flamer thing that you can see towards the back. Loads of fantastic options to really fill out an Escher gang. If you've already got an Escher gang, you'll probably want to add these to it because it gives you even more options and even more fantastic models. This is also a perfect starting point for an Escher gang in its own right.
I'm more
You
intrigued
could
by
never have played,
the bit at the
against
start
Necromunda.
where you said
It
the
needs to be a
edition
wonderful jumping on point.
reset.
They
And
go
that's called
head to
Necromunda
head
Skirmish.
with the Goliaths. These are the
These look
forged smelters.
fantastic.
Goliaths, the House of Chains, known for their sort of industrial power, and all of these like heavily muscled, stim-enhanced warriors carrying weapons which kind of have an industrial feel. So you've obviously got the heavy stubber at the back.
They look great.
But there's loads of other weapons that might be less familiar. For example, you've got the Crumper Riveter Cannon on the right-hand side. The Lady Goliath is holding that. You've also got things like the Servo Medicae that you can see on
The Servo,
Goliath
the medical
front.
guy looks
You've got
brilliant.
one with a Chem Slugger. There's loads of different things going on so that you can either add these to an existing Goliath force or just use these as your first ever Goliaths. I really like the Ignition Cannon that's on the left-hand side. Two
That is
fantastic
really
gangs.
cool.
You
This is
also find
this
inside
is
the box
intriguing me.
absolutely everything you need to get started playing. So you have the gaming mat, the measurers, the dice, the templates, all the cards and bits and pieces. You have a full rule book. You also have some terrain to position your gang behind to start playing your games. Essentially, this is a wonderful way to kick off Necromunda if you've just never played before and kickstart you into the new edition. So here you can see like a close-up on some of those other things as well. There's really a lot to enjoy here in these gangs, and if you look at the back of the box, you can see it all sort of laid out, sort of panning around, just full to the brim of great Necromunda stuff.
Huh.
There's more to come in this new edition than just this. It's worth saying that Necromunda, the thing that makes it so exciting is this continuous war between the great gang houses.
So
there
much
are
there.
6 gang houses that you might be familiar with if you know Necromunda well. Essentially, you have the Orlocks, the Vansars, Cawdor, Dilac, Escher, and Goliath.
They're really cool
You can see them
boxes.
all displayed here. These are Underhive crew boxes. These contain models that you might already know if you're familiar with Necromunda, presented in a brilliant format.
This is giving me the impression that Necromunda is scaling up.
An entire
No,
Underhive
if
crew
that makes
of your
sense.
own. I'm a big fan of Necromunda. I've played it for years and years. I've got a really big Orlok gang, and I looked at the Underhive crew and was like, oh, that's essentially everything you need for a really fantastic Orlok crew. Things to talk about quickly while we're here. So obviously this box contains everything. If you just wanted the Necromunda rulebook, say you've got loads of Necromunda stuff and you don't want to buy a new the core box for some mad reason, then you can just buy the Necromunda rulebook. This is a large hardback book. It's just packed with lore and rules and all the good things that you would want to know about Necromunda. And it's been revised. They've made updates to the rules to sort of streamline things. Every role feels like it really matters. Games are very exciting. I'm really excited to sink my teeth into it. If you've got an existing gang and you want to know where you find the rules for that, there's 2 more publications coming along for you. These are Gangs of the Underhive, which deal with those 6 gang houses we talked about before, along with various hangers-on and hired guns. And you've got Gangs of the Outland, which deals with those gangs and sort of Necromunda denizens.
I'm so confused.
operate
Sorry, my brain's really
outside of the
lost on
normal
this one
sphere.
because I had
Things
no
like the
idea there was a
Ironhead
new
Prospectors or the Ashwaste Nomads. And you'll find their rules along
edition
with the
coming.
various hangers-on in those books. So essentially, pick up the core rule book, pick up the gangs of the book that you need, and you are good to go.
What about our Palatine
Necromunda
Enforcers?
Skirmish. There's still more. Really useful to have on the side of the table. You've got the core gangs and discards. I find having like physical things really useful when I'm playing Necromunda. It's a very tactile game, and you've also got the scenario cards which help organise your campaign and get your
I've only
game
just got my head around
flowing
playing it. I
really
mean, there's
nicely.
nothing wrong with me playing what I've got. That's
Also,
the big thing there.
if you want to
But-
like enhance your battlefield, get your game going, there's an enormous range of fantastic Necromunda
I feel like
scenery and terrain.
I want to know.
The
I
Zone
can't wait for them to do
Mortalis
more
range
in-depth
is big
articles
and
about this
beautiful,
because I want to know
and there's
exactly
an
what's
addition to it
changing
now with
here,
these
what they're
Factoria
doing.
pipes. You'll find some Factoria pipes inside that core set, and there's even more if you buy this Factoria pipes box. and breathe.
Yeah, I think that's one of my favorite things about Necromunda is when you start to see people like really lean into the scenery and they've got their zone mortalis bit and then they start building up and you get the pipes and walkways and you can have like fights across the gantries and you can shoot people down from higher up and all that sort of good
yeah,
stuff.
absolutely. My favourite games in Necromunda.
I mean,
are always ones
I'm
that
all about
put
making it
multiple
much more
levels and
accessible to
blast
get into
someone off a
Necromunda
12-inch
because of the
height
sheer volume of
precipice and
books.
watch them plummet
I do
to
like
their
a bit of
death.
I
X-ray.
just want to know a bit more.
Yeah, yes, I agree.
I feel like I'm in that mode of brain.
There is something cool about
like
the
right
first
now.
time I section of a city.
Yeah, I
yeah.
saw that.
Think of the
Blew
hydrate,
my mind.
and I have just finished my water.
If you've never played Necromunda before, this really is a perfect jumping on point. Necromunda is a really exciting game. Ask any Necromunda fan and they will like enthuse about it, how great it is. And if you are an existing Necromunda fan and you're looking for new challenges, this is really great because the rules have been tweaked and streamlined and there's going to be new secrets to unlock. And it's going to be a good time to be fighting battles in the Underhive. The narrative...
That's going to make stuff more clear. That's what I'm thinking.
Succession is kind of done with, and I'm really excited
I'm
to see where the
hoping,
team
I'll have to sit and read it
responsible,
afterwards.
for Necromunda take it in this new era. It's going to be cool.
Yeah.
And we are still not
more.
done. Yep,
There's
we
still
are
more. There's
sticking
still more.
around
There's
in the
so much
41st
to go through
millennium,
this. Well, this
but
is
we're
a
going to go
big
to Warhammer
preview.
40,000 Kill Team with this.
Kill team! Oh, we get catchkins. God.
After years of searching, we're closing in on something unseen for decades.
Oh! No way! Ha! I think this is orcs. Oh, interesting.
We are alive and well in this year of 2026, and who would have had Exodites on their 2026 Warhammer bingo card?
This is a super exciting box set.
Okay,
Really,
interesting.
This is awesome. So obviously, every time we have a new Kill Team box set, it's very exciting. This one
it
I think
just
will be
Exodite?
particularly interesting, not just for fans of Kill Team, but for
Oh,
fans of
it's-
Warhammer
it's
40,000.
orcs versus Exodites. There's not even
are one of
catchkins in
those
it.
last untapped awesome bits of Warhammer 40,000 lore. Whenever we get to kind of unveil a cool new corner of the millennium, it's always very exciting. I think Exodites absolutely fall into that little corner.
If you don't know what Exodite is, very briefly, when the Eldari Society was starting to sort of, way back before the fall, starting to fall into decadence and depravity, the Exodites were like, no, thank you very much, and they left main society and they settled on places far flung from the mainstay of Eldar society called Maiden Worlds.
Beautiful jungle planets full of rich flora and fauna and full of all sorts of weird, wonderful creatures.
Absolutely.
And then when Eldar Society
so intrigued.
was destroyed in the fall, the Exodites were one of the few remaining bits that were left. Now, in the 41st millennium, they have these pockets of idyllic beautifulness across Warhammer 40,000. Obviously, this being Warhammer 40,000, if you've got something lovely, everyone wants to knock it over and invade
There's
it.
probably a war coming.
There's always a war coming.
Nice.
So whenever their planets are invaded, they have to defend them with whatever tools they can find available, and the closest thing available is giant reptilian beasts that they can ride into battle.
Should we have a look at the
crush their
models?
foes with.
So,
Okay, so
here we
intrigued.
go. These are the
Okay.
Exodite Dragon Masters. Eddie, this is a very unusual kill team, right?
Yeah, so this is a kill team first and foremost. It is really kind of
It's-
weird,
it's
really
throwing
fun,
them
unusual kill
mounted
team.
for
It
a
is
kill
effectively
team.
3 models and 2 little hangers on, so it's immediately very, very elite. In terms of how it plays in kill team, it plays in a really interesting and unique and unusual way. All of your units have APL 4, which is wild.
Yeah, absolutely.
In kill team, so you can do all sorts of cool maneuvers. They are very, very fast, as you would imagine, faster than almost anything else in kill team. They can leap up across bits of terrain, so if you think that your sniper at the back of the battlefield is nice and safe, perched on
Maybe
his
not.
ruin, think again, because a giant reptilian with an
This is
Eldari
really
warrior on the back is
interesting.
racing towards you, ready to chop your head off.
I never thought they would
You
do
have
Exodite
3
models.
very different kinds of characters in there. Effectively, you've got a warrior
just never
archetype,
thought they would.
a mage archetype, and a sniper archetype, and they all do very different things for your kill team.
Yeah, so here on the screen you can see the 3 different ones laid out. Essentially, you have the Clan Blade, which is the close combat one. You have the Lay Stalker, which is the one with the sniper rifle, and then you have the Stone Singer, which is the Exodite who focuses on using psychic powers. And then they also have these little beasts
I'm
that
so
run around with them.
intrigued because I'm also really curious about how they're how they're going to fold these into 40k.
If you
if
know
they
kind
are.
of how Eldar
Probably
Craft World
will.
work, there's a little bit of the Autarch to this one. There's a little bit of the Farseer to this one.
Absolutely.
There's a little bit of the kind of Ranger. So they have a kind of common ancestry with the Eldar of the Craft Worlds, but they have gone off in a slightly different sort of cultural direction. And the biggest difference really is that they ride on the back of these cool reptiles.
Yeah.
But a really fun
Shut up and take
kill
my
team, a
credits.
very different kill team. I think probably going to be a very popular kill team as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
It's
I
not the
feel
only
these will
thing
be
you get in this
popular.
box. You've also got a bunch of orcs in here. The way that the orcs work in this kill team is a little bit like the Red Terror set that we had recently, where they are effectively non-player operatives, and you can play a bunch of different games against these, either as a one-player or a two-player series.
There's a lot of orcs
There's
in
a
that
campaign in the box which tells the story of an orc war which has landed on this planet. The orcs, who are beast snaggers, basically find a world full of monsters, and they're like, "This is a paradise. Look at all these giant beasts we can hunt." The Eldar are obviously much less keen on that than the orcs, and they have to try and drive off the orcs so you can play through this campaign. Also, of course, all the stuff in this box you can also use in Warhammer 40,000 as
There you
well.
go.
Yeah, just to give a shout out to that Kill Team Exodite book, it's really cool. I got to have a look through it the other day. It's got great lore in it. There's stories from the perspective of the Eldari Exodites. There's also like that campaign has some great missions in it. There's guides on how to make your battlefield to look like a Maiden World. It's a wonderful book. They've done an amazing job sort of bringing this to life.
Yeah. Worth saying, one of the other ways that you can build up the kill team that you get in this set is as another unit, which is called the Dragon Knights. These are the archetypal, I suppose, the closest thing we've got to the classic version of an Exodite. Very reminiscent of some of the very cool Warhammer 40,000 art from some of the early editions. This is effectively a fast cavalry unit of Exodites riding on those huge reptilian beasts. And they work a little bit in game, I suppose, like your Shining Spears, where they could charge in. They actually have laser lances, which is the same weapon that Shining Spears have. So they punch pretty hard, but as well as the rider on the back fighting, who's a good fighter.
You've also got a crazed reptile beast
very
helping
cool.
you fight.
I'm a little bit
Absolutely. So they
stunned.
hit
I never
really,
thought
really
they were going to
hard.
release
They're,
Exodites.
they're not super durable, but they're a little bit more durable than some of the other kind of combat units.
About
you
to
might
see a
find
lot of
in an
beast
Eldari
snaggers on
army, so
eBay,
they're
right?
Quite a useful little unit. I think you will see them dotted around various Warhammer 40,000 battlefields and Eldar armies quite soon. The other forces in this box, the Dragon Masters, you can also use in Warhammer 40,000, and the way that they work is that each one is effectively an individual character in your Eldari army. So you've got the kind of lone up sniper, you've got your fast-moving hero, you've got a kind of buff support piece. So effectively, this one kill team provides you with 4 different data sheets for Warhammer 40,000 Eldari armies. So it's a really flexible little clump of stuff that you can add into your Eldari force.
Yeah, so Kill Team Exodite contains 3 Exodites and the 2 Dracolites. Obviously, these models will be available separately down the line, so if you wanted to put loads into your army, that's completely legit. There are loads of reasons that an Eldari
people are
force
going
might have
wild
Exodites
for
in
this
it
right
as well.
now.
When
I'm
you
not
look at the
seeing it
history
coming.
of the Eldari, the Craftworld Bieltan is so affronted at the state of the Maiden Worlds that they aggressively defend Maiden Worlds from any interference. Obviously, Alitok is known for the Rangers who travel around the webway and they visit all the Maiden Worlds on a regular basis.
It's one of the main reasons the Eldari come into conflict with other races, right? They don't seek it out particularly, but one of the things that they have is this sort of cultural association with these planets, and whenever anyone invades, it's almost like it's sacrilegious, right?
This is sort of protecting the last true ancient Eldari,
yeah.
really.
This is almost always why the Eldari will get involved in a fight somewhere.
Okay. They weren't kidding about off the scale.
Can't really. So
literally, like scales on there. I was not expecting that. That's really fascinating.
Wonderful paradise world. You have to kind of go and kick them off.
Yeah, absolutely. It's worth having a little look at the models, I think. So here we have a stunt beast snagger.
Yeah, these look really cool.
Sort of drafted in to pose,
yeah.
and then you can get a sense of the
hang on
scale
that.
of
You
these
aren't
things
getting
when
an Exodite arm in this. They're just elite operatives and craft holders. Yeah.
They're live.
That's what I'm thinking. There's not going to be an Exodite army.
They're still an impressive
if there is,
model,
it will be
and I think
years
they're
down
quite
the line.
popular with people who want to do just beautiful paint jobs, right? They're going to lend themselves really towards that.
Yeah, I mean the models are beautiful. Like
yeah,
I
nice
think I really like the leader
That's
unit
in particular. That
yeah,
one,
the leader of the Dragon Knights is just a really, really excellent miniature. I think just the kind of straight on pose for him. I'd be amazed if we don't see a few of those at Golden Demons and things.
Yeah, it's a
He's
nice
got that beautiful back banner, obviously, which is lending itself to kind of whatever showing off painting scheme you'd like to have a go at. The reptiles they're riding themselves, you could paint in almost any color you can imagine, right? The
if you
Elemental team
wanted
here has
to
gone
theme
for
your
some
army next
really
time,
cool,
these plus
vivid
40
color
with the
schemes.
kill
You
team
could
to it.
have
Yeah, that would be really
anything
cool.
in your paint collection, you could paint these guys. I think they're going to be a joy to paint.
They're
and I
really
can't wait to see
nice.
them on the battlefield.
Absolutely.
I think I'm just a bit stunned. I wasn't expecting them to actually drop them.
On their 2026 Warhammer.
I think at least 3 people guessed
Well,
when we posted it.
you get to
Well
give yourself
done
a
you
little
if you
stamp,
guessed
well
Exodus.
played.
Yeah.
fair
I'm
play, you guys
delighted.
all guessed it.
They've existed in the lore for such a long time, and it's really exciting to see them.
Which makes me
like,
excited
on the
for what
tabletop
other
games like
random
before.
bits of
This
lore
is
are they
the
going to
first time
pick
we've
up
ever
on.
seen Exodites in plastic, and kind of the first time really we've
Basically,
seen them
Natman, what
properly,
random
there was,
armies
like,
have you done?
one
That's the
little
random bits
shred
of niche
of
lore they're going to
cloth
pick up on.
one of the Corsairs.
Maybe
had a bit of
an old
scaling.
little metal one for Epic.
Oh, yeah, maybe,
Back
yeah.
in the day, and other than that, they've existed in the stories and in some scattered pieces of
Interesting.
artwork. So, what a happy time! We're very excited, and also the love and passion that spilled out of the Warhammer studio as they told us about them was just infectious. So, hopefully, you're as excited.
I might have known before this. Oh, well, I very much appreciate you not spoiling it.
What
I
else
very
is there
much
to say?
because that was a
We
genuine
have
surprise.
come
I'm a bit like,
to the
what?
end of our
There was a lot of
preview.
stuff, Adam.
It was a lot of stuff, and we
they
said
said
it was
we're
about
going
90
back to
minutes,
40K.
and we're very, very nearly there. So thank you if you are still with us and enjoying the Warhammer preview. It's been lovely to have you with us.
Drop the ball.
I should round up. There have been a couple of questions floating around. One of them I can field right now. Somebody asked in the chat, what's the cost to the Warhammer Academy? The cost is nothing. It is free. You'll need to log in and sign up, but it is designed to help you just get started with your Warhammer journey.
Well, they've done crew
it
armies
doesn't
now,
cost
excites
anything.
army,
Just
mechanids,
join in and start learning about
some
Warhammer
orcs.
and sort of honing your skills and gaining confidence as you do so. If you've got more questions, well, we've got good news. A few weeks back, Eddie and I did a Q&A, and we had a nice time doing it. So we're going to do another one in a couple of weeks. So
Oh, okay, I
here is
like
an
that,
email
I like
address
that.
appearing mystically on your screen. Quanda, that is Q&A
Okay.
at preview.warhammer.com. That is where you can start
Send
sending
in your
questions.
quandas.
But hopefully, Warhammer-related questions, and specifically about things we've talked about in the preview.
I mean, you can send in any question, but we'll only answer the Warhammer-related ones.
I have very few specialist subjects, and most of them revolve around Warhammer. So,
Are we gonna get
please
the
do send us
Sekian
Warhammer questions
or something,
Q&A
or Space
in a couple of weeks'
Vampires,
time. We'll
Loyalist
let you know closer to
Beastmen?
when it's going to be.
There's a lot they could
We'll go
think
through
of
those
doing
questions.
here.
We'll pick the best ones, and we'll sit down and have a little session where we read through all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. I guess all that remains then is thank you everybody for coming and joining in this preview and spending some time with us. Thank you to all the people behind the scenes who pressed the buttons and moved the models around and made it all work. You are champions. Thank you, Eddie, for knowing all the answers.
You said you were going to go back to 40k at the end.
Brilliant.
What
In
we see
that
it.
case, until next time, we will see you again very soon. Good night.
Wait, was that? Wait, didn't they say earlier on they're going back to 40k? Or did they mean go back to Kill Team as 40k? Wait, I'm so confused. They said they said at the start they were going to go back to 40k. I felt like there was going to be another 40k announcement. Was that just the Exodites for Kill Team? I know it is part of 40k, but they normally say Kill Team and 40k is separate, don't they? That's what's thrown me a bit. I suppose the Custodians were for Heresy and 40k. Exodites, I think it was the way they said it made me think we're going to get a tease for something else 40k related. So yeah, I'm so surprised that that box doesn't have Catchikins in it. I'm very surprised. So, okay, should go check out the articles now, I guess. Let me just yeah, so let's give this a refresh. So, whoa, that's a whole load of stuff, right? That is a whopping amount of stuff. What's everyone's favourite thing? There's so much stuff. I am both terrified and intrigued about how on earth I'm going to fit all of this into a 3-minute summary video. I don't think I'm going to be able to. I think I'm going to have to do 2 videos. Yeah, my brain's a bit like, what? So, So, where else? Open all this stuff up. Okay. So, a whole load of stuff. They started off with brand new start sets, which I think the start sets are really interesting. I do like these. I think these look great. We're just gonna chat about some bits here. I'm off to check the feasibility of sleeping in the fridge. Have a great stream and see you all Sunday. No worries, Rusty. We'll catch you later. I hope your fridge sleeping goes well. What got me is that they said a new army for AOS, and most people thought it was going to be a new faction or range refresh. I kind of thought that's the direction we were going as well. So I can make myself bigger now. Where's my camera? There we go. I'm back. Hello. I'm back. to a reasonable size. Although I don't like the fact that that background's not quite the right size. 1 second. Wow, that's too big. Close enough, that'll do. But yeah, interesting. Yeah, so the start sets, I like that this start set is jam-packed. I've got no idea what the price of this is going to be. This is really jam-packed, and I'm almost like, I'm intrigued to know, is this going to be priced as a loss leader? So are they going to take a loss on this, or is it not even a loss? Are they going to take next to nothing on this in order to be able to basically make it appeal to people starting in the hobby? Because they're normally, the start set's normally a little bit discounted, right? So this feels like it's going to be quite interesting. But yeah, so so now just have, there's no ultimate, there's no recruit, there's no whether it's veteran, start set, whatever it's called, they're all been gone. You now got starter set, and then you have getting started with, which is basically the Space Marines and the Orcs getting started boxes. So, which is going to be interesting. So, yeah, these are intriguing because these are basically like, it's almost like they're both full combat patrols, but they come with paints to basically paint them as Ultramarines or paint them as kind of standard Orcs. I almost wish it would have been a really cool way to do this, where they could have given the power to the stores to say, okay, you know, they do the thing where you buy like 10 paints and you get the most expensive one free or whatever. I think it would have been really cool to have kind of gone, oh, cool, if you, here's, as standard it comes with the stuff Ultramarines. If you don't want to do Ultramarines, go and pick your paints. Or because that part of the hobby of kind of getting excited about going and picking the paints is cool. But then you could also do standard Ultramarines box as well. I think that would have been a nice touch. Maybe there is something like that's going to come from it. Maybe some of the stores will have a bit of autonomy around that. I think that would be a really nice thing to see. Because there is that part of the hobby where you get, if you're buying it for yourself, you get really excited to go and pick up the models and pick up the paints. You just like, ooh, pick up these paints. Ooh, we're going to do this. And I think that's really exciting. Starter set at 180, but how long is it available? How long is it going to be available for? It will be available for the whole edition. This will be. This will be like every other starter set. This will be the whole edition, I would imagine. 180. I don't know, because it's most of them. What's it missing? It's not got the Walker truck, and it's got 5 less. Oh, it hasn't got the Gravis guys in it. It's not got the Eradicators versus the thingy box, the Armageddon box, but it does have the terrain. I think the problem is, I think 180 is a heavy price point to turn around and go, hey, start here, but it is designed to split with a friend. And so I think with the fact it has the train in it, and its push fit models, and its 2 combat patrols, with the core rules and a playmat, I almost think that this is going to be something that is going to be priced very competitively. This is going to be, they've always done these boxes at a point where it's like, well, it's not much more than a combat patrol and I get all this bonus stuff, right? It's like, I might as well spend the extra and get the extra models. They've always been kind of priced that point, so I don't know where they're going to price point this. It won't be long till we know. I can't imagine it'll be long till we know. But yeah. So I'm intrigued by that. And then this new, now getting started with Orcs and Space Marines. The introductory set is little bits of like plasticard terrain, so fully painted, fully like done little bits of plasticard terrain, and this has got exclusive models in it. So these are new intercessors, a new Primaris Lieutenant, and some new boys, and a new, is it a Nob or a Mega Nob? But basically, they've said this is the only place to get these models, these particular ones. So you've got like a special sort of like sprue of basically both sets of models, and they're going to just be in here, which is like, 12 new miniatures. That's fine. It's nothing. You're not missing out on anything huge here. They're not going to be, if you don't buy this box, it's going to be bad. But they're cool models for it, and you can kind of tell as well that they look like they're going to be easy to paint from an introductory point of view, which I think is a big bonus there. I think it's a very, very big bonus. So, some new paint sets for Orcs. Is that just orcs? Is that just an introductory paint set? That's a bit of everything, isn't it? A bit of introductory paint set. The Warhammer starter brush. Oh wait, because they're not going to be Citadel brushes anymore. It's going to be Warhammer color brushes. I thought this brush looked different. This is a synthetic brush with a new paint handle and a metal and a black ferrule. So interesting. They're kind of going for this, like, it's going to stand out a little bit more. I do find it interesting though, in these two paint sets, they are literally doing just base paints. There's no wash in here. It's just base paints, which is interesting. I don't think I've seen them not put a wash or like a pot of Nullin or Agrax in a start set before. You get it in here. You get Agrax in there, but you don't get them in here. Interesting. Very interesting. And then we've got Combat Patrol Battle Zone as well. This is the one which is the... they say this is the pre-painted terrain? No. Unpainted. Unpainted terrain. The Battle Zone box. And they say this is basically just going to be nice and easy just to combine. Wait, what happened to that guy? What is that? That's well random. I wasn't expecting that there. Like, what happened there? Really nice sets of terrain. And they said basically if you buy the starter set and you pick this up at a later point, you'll be able to play 2,000 point games. It'll be enough terrain to put the two boards together. For one box of this is obviously for Combat Patrol, which is what you get in the start set. And basically if you get another box of the terrain set, it's as you picked up more models, you would basically expand and be able to play bigger points games. So this one in Luna isn't the pre-painted. The Combat Patrol Battle Zone stuff is the unpainted stuff they state here. So this is the unpainted push fit. But they did show the painted stuff a little bit further down, so we're probably going to see that in a moment for it. So it's interesting. It's the same style of terrain though. The pre-painted versions will be this terrain just painted. And they'll be available as individual bits as well. So there you go. I think this one here, the Warhammer 40,000 Battlefields Armageddon, this is the ready painted terrain. Here you go. This is the ready painted stuff, which they did say, and I'm intrigued to know what everyone thinks on the price point of this. Where we didn't get an exact price, they did say it's a little bit more than 2 Combat Patrols. So that I'm imagining what's the price of a Combat Patrol these days? Where are we at? Combat Patrol, 40k. The price of a Combat Patrol is 105. So this, I reckon, will be about 225, if maybe 250. And I'm thinking somewhere between, I think it's going to be around 225. For a full 2,000 point, ready painted, out the box, and they did say you can store it in the box. Well, afterwards. Whereas the unpainted box, which is only enough for one, you need 2 of these boxes. They did say is going to be the same price as. Oh no, it's going to be the same or a little bit less than a Combat Patrol. So, yeah, I'm imagining this box here will be around about 95, maybe, if not a little bit less. So let's say 95. What does that, the time you receive back of that one, is that worth what is going to potentially be the extra, like, 5%, 10% value? That's what I'm more intrigued by. So, hey Avian, how are you doing? I can pet the bean, but alas, Milkshake is not in this room because it is a sauna in this room. So I'll pet the bean. How are you doing? How are we? On a scale of 1 to 10, how poggers are you? I am a puddle of poggers in this heat. That's what I am. How are you, Avian? How are you doing? But you don't have to paint it. How many people will buy that much terrain to get it painted? That's the thing. I think they know their audience with this, which is like people who just want to take it out of the box and not have to worry. about painting and sort of thing. This is probably going to be aimed at things like tournament organizers. It's going to probably be aimed at like clubs, game stores, people who like after school clubs, and like people who run their own like clubs and leagues, who just want a quick, easy setup. You take it out, snip it off the sprue, stick it together as it's push fit, and then it stores in the box that it comes in, and it goes on the shelf. So whenever you play, you take it out, put the board out, done. And I think the time it saves you being ready painted, if you're not fussed on, if your goal is to play rather than, like, most people enjoy the painting element of it, but some people enjoy the playing a lot more than the painting. I'm more the other way around. I like the idea of painting a bunch of terrain, but I can also see that this is going to be really interesting. The price point is, well, I don't know the exact price difference. If you're paying 10% more to have it pre-painted, I think that's fairly reasonable. It matches what other companies are doing. If it's going to be like 20% and up more, I think that's going to be interesting then, because then it does start coming into. But then you suppose, going on the flip side of it again, this is all speculation. If this is going to be around 225, and to buy the same amount of terrain, unpainted, would be say 180, because, you know, for argument's sake, you are probably going to spend that £35, £45 on spray, paint, and brushes. So this is definitely an easier option, I think, in that respect. If you look at full cost of materials, it's going to be interesting. But yeah, I'm not like, I'm worried I'm coming across a bit critical of it. I'm not. I want to know more. I want to know more. I'm like, nope. I just want to paint particular bottles now. Yeah, that's fair. That's completely fair. I'm doing okay. I love the Kill Team reveal, but I have to wait for the non-season boxes. Just grabbing the just the Exodites. Even I'm like, well, from what I hear, a lot of tournaments will be getting this stuff for free. Ooh, that's interesting. I suppose they've now got much more official table layouts with terrain, haven't they? Tournaments getting them for free. That's a good way to get people playing on it. Interesting. Man, the new minis from the intro set are really cool. Right, yeah, they're really nice. The ones you get in the this little setup here. They're really. I like the lieutenant and the mega knob, the knob here. It looks really cool. And the boys look really great. They just look great. They're a really nice kit. And that was all the start set stuff. And then, of course, this is a close-up of what it's going to look like pre-painted. I mean, it does look incredibly impressive for what you get. It's not like it's just not greatly painted. This looks like actually they have proper dialed in the machine painting on this and really gone, yeah, if we're going to do this, it's got to be the best we can make it. Like, they didn't have to go so hard and put gradients on here. They didn't have to go so hard to make it slightly opaque. Over here, colouring in the individual keys. It looks like they've gone pretty hard. Europe, Exodites is a thing. Annoyed that I dropped Craftworld. I can't get myself back into them. And the Exodites are Aldari coded versus Drukhari. Ooh. So, yes. Dun, 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 dun. This looks very cool. And then Battlefields. This is a new battle map. This wasn't in the reveal. This is just the battle map. There's nothing else that comes with it. It's just it looks like a neoprene. Your matching fabric battle mat for your Strike Force size games. This is like a neoprene sort of style mat. I have one of these because it was free. I would say free. It was, if you spent so much at a store anniversary, it was the free thing you got for spending it. They are actually really nice quality, and they're massive. You could use it like a blanket. I literally draped it over Verity like a blanket at one point. It was massive. So they're good quality. They're very good quality. And I think this must be the leftover ones they have. And from what they said, these have been produced in conjunction with Ultra Pro. Now, that's what I was told by somebody at GW. They said this is basically for they had to pay quite a bit to not have the Ultra Pro branding on it, like their other playmat stuff that they have. So I feel that's quite interesting. They're a very well-known brand in playmats and that sort of style, Ultra Pro. So obviously going to somebody who has the technology to do what they want to do, and do it well. Can't complain. Although this does look slightly different because I'm pretty sure mine's got stitched edges, whereas this one doesn't have that. And it isn't the first time they've done plated neoprene big mats like this. They did them quite a lot for Age of Sigmar. They used to do them in 4x4 squares, which I've still got one of those in the cupboard. So yeah, it's very cool. So I was going to sit and go through every single article on here, but I'm going to be really, really honest with you. I am starting to feel a little bit faint with how hot this room is getting. Whilst it is 25 degrees outside, it is now. Came into the room, and it was 28. It's now peaked up to 32. I'm getting very hot in the room. So what I'm probably going to do is we might cool stream here, and then for self-care reasons. And then Sunday we'll sit and go through all of this on Sunday. I feel it's probably the best way to do it. I've got plenty of water and all the things I need to go and do. I'm just very aware I'm getting a bit hot in here. Let's do that. Let's change. Let me do the self-care that I chastise you lot about for not doing so much. I will get some fruity drinks. I'll get some fruity drinks. But yeah, there's so much on there. Where are we at? Let's go. Where are we going? Who are we going to say hello to? Scrolling. And and then at some point I need to come back in this room and do my summary video because there's a lot. Yeah, it's definitely like it outside it's cooling, but in here because the computer's running, the aircon by my feet has died, the battery's gone on it. The fan is now just pushing around hot air. I can feel myself being shiny. But thank you everyone who's come in and joined. It's been really, really fun chatting away and just going through this. It's been really, really nice. Let us go and spread some love. Where are we going to go to? Oh, if somebody is celebrating their birthday, I know exactly who we're going to say hello to if they're celebrating their birthday. Let's go say hello to them. But yeah, no, thank you so much everyone who's been in. It's been an absolute delight as well, and thank you so much you guys have been so generous with the resubs today. We've had so many resubs. We've had Natman, Graham, Rusty. Thank you so much all for the resubs. You've had some biddies dropped as well, so thank you everyone who dropped biddies. But yeah, I'm excited to go through this all on Sunday and kind of show and have a bit more of a chat about it, digest everything. I can read through the articles. I can pick up hopefully any bits that may have been missed, and then I'll drop a few videos as well over on the socials if you wanted to see those summaries and updates. So yeah, but thank you so much. But for now, let us raid off. We are going to go say hello to somebody who's celebrating their birthday. For it, let's go and let's go say hello to the incredibly talented and wonderful. It's Dr. Rhino. They're incredibly talented. They are currently painting up a fantastic looking miniature. It is the Disco Ditto. So if you've been about on Instagram, you've been seeing some people working on this. The Disco Ditto is a phenomenal sculpt. It looks brilliant. And that's what they are painting up. And they look like they are doing a phenomenal job of it. So let's get that up on here. And red. And thank you so much everyone for coming on in and sticking with us in this heat. Please remember to hydrate. Get yourself something salty, get yourself something hydrating, and all the things that you need to have. But for now, please, thank you so much, and remember to stay safe, stay positive, and above all, be an ambassador for your hobby. I'm gonna go and call off now, but we will catch you all later. Bye.